clobbering time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger, ready to move out.
It's clobbering time!
Come get some.
It's clobbering time! Clobberonimo!
I'm just gonna be gobble-gulated. Hey, my friends. Welcome again to Clobbering Times. What's up? What's up, clobbers, clobberonimos, clobberooskies, clobberoids, clobberians, and those who are yet to clobber? Fear not, one day you too may clobber, as long as you learn how to. Boil the rocks together, guys. Whee! Clobberonimo! That's what we want to hear. Get started. Hey, my dear friends. Welcome to Clobbering Times, issue number 459 on YouTube. 1,459 overall for almost 15 years now. It is Saturday night Star Trek 162 Voyager reviews with the most wonderful first officer in the fleet. And sorry about last week and all, but we're back on track. Going to get some reviewing done tonight. It's reviewing time. And before we get started doing that and doing all our beeswax, like our show notes and shout outs, my dear friends, let us first, of course, welcome the most wonderful first officer in the fleet, the amazing, beautiful, fantastic Commander R.M. Briggs. Hey there, number one.
Hello, handsome. I love you. Thank you for that warm welcome. It's so good to see you. I'm excited to hang out with you tonight. You know, you're one of the best friends I've ever had in my entire life, and I just love you so much, and I love spending this time with you each and every week. This was your conceptualization. This is your virtual comic book shop, and here we are at your mini Star Trek convention. And I just, it's always exciting. It's always fun, always great laughs, and such wonderful friends show up. Hail to the chat. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Saturday Night Star Trek. We're going to be talking about Voyager this evening. The good, the bad, the ugly. We're going to laugh. We're going to cry. We're going to have some great conversations. But before we do that, I just want to do a few shout outs. I want to thank my friend Lord Thoth. He is a really, truly amazing guy who is a true blue friend to Clobby. He's always out using his social media and the fact that he mingles with these bigger channels. He's always using that as leverage to promote Clobby's channel. He's always shouting us out and sharing the stream. And I just want to tell LT how much I love him. Just behind the scenes and in the chat and everywhere on social media, the guy is just a stand-up guy, a total gentleman. I also want to thank my buddy Larry. He's out there doing the same thing. I mean, it's just it's amazing to me when I log on to my social media and I'm tagged in all of these beautiful friends who I care so much about. And here they are sharing Clobby's channel, trying to build up this channel, trying to build the community. And speaking of which, let's talk about Eric K and how wonderful he is, and Chris Persia. Chris Persia, I love these beautiful show posters that you do every week. It's something you expect in the foyer of a cinema. And I just love you. Thank you for using your power and your social might to bring Clobby to the forefront and to recommend him and to tell people, hey, you should watch this. It means a lot, especially coming from you. I was reading the updates on your father. And I just want you to know that I'm so happy that he's on the mend. And I'm going to continue to ask for love and support and notes of encouragement. And for those who pray, to please send out those prayers. Because you want to know what, everyone? Your love works. Your prayers work. And Chris is feeling that love. And so is his papa. And it is terrific to hear that Chris is feeling so much better about this, that there have been improvements. I mean, there's still concern, but there are improvements where Chris isn't frightened anymore. And that's really scary for me. And I will get emotional if I talk about it anymore. So I'm not going to, but I just love you, Chris. I read the things that you say about your father, and my God, you are a beautiful son. Anyway, and an amazing friend. So I love you, Chris Persia. Yes, I also want to thank my buddy, Gwagnar. Yeah. Some ridiculous memes this week on the internet, messing around with our audio and making cool videos with it, and then the meme that you made today. I hope everyone is going to follow you on X, and thank you so much for promoting, tirelessly promoting Clobby's channel. I love you, Gwaggy. Thank you so much. I think I should also say that thanks to the Wrenches for joining us this evening. And thanks to each and every one of you in the chat. Now, the captain is going to shout you out, but I want you to know, each and every one of you, that I try to read everything you say. And I want you to know how much I appreciate it and how much I love the conversation here every weekend. And I just got to give a small little shout out, even though I shouldn't, because I need to let the boss do it. But Scuba and Leslie Pete, they're back. They had to go. They were on an away mission. And so I've missed them immensely, and they're back. So Scuba, Pete, and Leslie. And before I turn it over to the captain, I just want to shout out my Patreon folks. These are the people who are backing my new book that's coming out very soon. Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Penny Lane, Shooter, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie Pete, Eric Kane, his trusty dusty dog Kirby. If you are looking for Kirby, he's in China. Just go to the Bugs Bunny hole in the back of Eric K's backyard. Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Beacom, I love you, Bigums. Mark D with a C, Anti-Derivative, Jelly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Cook, Daban and the Daban Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and of course Lance. And we have a lot of pepperonis here tonight, so chuck some cheese in the chat. Rob Altus, Tyler, Jeff Wyatt, Rod Thunderheart, and Nazarus. Thank you for backing Science Fiction Tales Volume 2. I cannot wait to release it to the public. Thank you, everyone. Boss man, I think that's it. I need to be quiet now and just let you take care of business.
Oh, thank you. Let's before I do the show notes and shout outs, I will take care of some gifts we have here, because I want to thank Shooter's back, baby. 5. Thank you for gifting 5 memberships to the great Shooter. I appreciate that, man.
Holy Kawasaki!
That's very kind of you, and he is He says, I'm back. Well, we're love having you back, buddy. Great to have you back. And this is for you. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. And the great Michael Beacom. What's up, buddy? He says, oh, wow.
My.
Trek history here. Here's to Gene Kuhn. He was a great man. Today in his hometown of Beatrice, Nebraska, 1.5 hours from here, they celebrated his 100th year. Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
wow. My film buddy Bruce, a Q&A event there today. Hail Gene indeed. Hail Gene L. Kuhn, one of the really big names in Star Trek.
He is.
One of the great writers, creators, producers, and all that other stuff.
He is. Doesn't Michael Beacom have and Cassandra Beacom, don't they have an amazing life? They're a very interesting couple. They're so connected with creative people. And did you know, Captain, that tonight, Cassandra, the gorgeous Cassandra, I can say she's gorgeous too, because I've actually seen a picture of her. She has us on the big screen in the family room.
Oh, oh my goodness. Well, of course, we were lucky enough to hang out with her at the last members train, and we loved it. It was so much fun hanging out with Cassandra. She is fantastic. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Michael, you married up, buddy.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
They're a beautiful couple. They are a beautiful couple.
This kid, we love you, bro. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate you, buddy. And man. So let's see here. Let's do some shout out. He admits it. So he says, yeah.
He's such a good friend.
Oh, good Lord. All right, here we go. So let's see. Show notes and shout outs. Hey, Fanty popped in. What's up, Fanty? Can't call you out anyway, of course, but we always like it when it's just not the same without Fanty here.
You got to have a little Fanty.
Yeah. Let's see. All righty. Okay. Show notes. Tomorrow night, end your week as a geek. The great Mark D with us here, extraordinary chief engineer, who is he'll probably pop in. He may pop in later. He's out there, just out there having so much fun. This kind of guy he is. He's a wild and crazy party animal, but he may pop in later if he gets a chance. And that is 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday nights. You know, you're winding down, you're finishing up your week, and you want to do it with a couple of silly geeks like Mark and myself. Actually, we all know the show would be better off if I didn't stay around there and bug him. But then again, you know, I pick on him a lot on the show. If you want to see Mark,
not true.
If you want to see Mark get abused by me on Sunday nights.
No, don't say that. I will shin kick you.
And if you get hungry, don't forget the eatery as well.
Yeah, it will turn into the eatery. I mean, it always does. And as long as he's not talking about, sea tongues on pizza.
No, we'll see.
Ooh.
Of course, my buddy J-Man, back with J-Man and Sean on our Legion of Superheroes song. Legion of Superheroes show that we do on 3 Mondays out of the month. We're back with some more reviewings of some comics because that's what we roll up and heal on Mondays as well. A lot of days. And so we're having fun doing that. The whole Silver and Bronze Age of Legion of Superheroes, if you get any comic book geeks out there. And then a little bit later, it'll be back over here on my channel for Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk. Talking, well, what else? Comics, of course, because it's Monday night. And it's our great, dear departed Mark C. that we will forever remember and talk comics in his name. Mm-hmm. And then on Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 6 p.m. Central, I always like to go hang out with the great, that August group over there on the great Tom Connor's Midnight's Edge After Dark. Love Tom. He's an amazing fellow. And it's a fun group over there. And we talk pop culture with a big audience hanging out, and it's a lot of fun. At 6 Central, 7 Eastern for that. And then, of course, Wednesday nights. Sometimes I do Loki's Roundtable at 7 o'clock as well when he has it. And whether he has it or not, I have my wild card Wednesday night, which is all kinds of fun. It's wild and it's cardy. And I sit here and talk to you. Basically, we just geek out. It was just you and me usually. So, and sometimes the chief engineer pops in and hangs out a little bit too. So it's always fun. And then, of course, Thursday night, the Clubhouse. Oh, my goodness. We're going to have some reviews, as always. The Clubhouse with my wonderful first officer and our great chief engineer. We get together. We review a Blake 7 episode. This week, the episode Trial. Love it. And this week, we're going to soon be reviewing some Trek comics. But this week, I think we're going to review the first Night Stalker movie starring Darren McGavin, because you watched it. So
yes.
we're
But
going to review that.
that movie was terrific. Spoiler, but I did enjoy it, and it wasn't too scary for me. But
Nice.
I have to tell everyone in the chat, everyone, please stay tuned to Clubby's Clubhouse on Thursday nights, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because Clubby is going to be announcing a new his next choice in Star Trek collections. So we're going to be reviewing another Star Trek comic book collection. I've ordered it. I'm super excited about it. It's not here yet, but I mean, you know, when Clobby's pulling something off the rack, off the spinner rack, and he says, we should review this and tell people what we think about it, and it's going to be great fun. I mean, come on, folks. Even if you don't like comics, I mean, this great man, he dragged me into the comic book world. I love these beautiful Star Trek comic books that he has me collecting now, and having a subject matter expert like him there to teach you about it, to teach you about the art and the production of it, and the behind the scenes stuff happening with it. Well, you know, it really is something special. It's like being a part of a book club. And so I invite all of you to join us. Even if you're intimidated by comics and don't know anything, you're in good hands with Clobby. He's a big pile of rocks. He's got lots of information, and it is a ton of fun. So stop on by on Thursday night and figure out what Clobby has for us next.
Where was I? Oh, still doing show notes, are we?
Yes.
Show notes, okay. All right. So there's that, the Clubhouse. Please join us Thursday nights. And then, of course, on Friday nights, a couple of more shows to go on Fearless Fridays on the J-Man's channel, 7 p.m. Eastern, with our reviews of Frank Miller's classic Daredevil run of the 80s. It's a masterpiece of comic book storytelling, changed comics, and we've reviewed almost all of it. We got 2 more to go. And then after that, in April, we get Fantastic Fridays. We are going to tackle the entire Jack Kirby run on the Fantastic Four, the comic that changed it all, that set the tempo, that did it. It's arguably the most important comic book saga of all time, because everything, it set it all for Marvel. If you're a Marvel fan, Fantastic Four number 1 through 102 and all 6 of the first annuals. So I can't wait. You know how much I love Kirby, and you know how much I love my baby FF. I love him. But
Yep.
So that's coming up soon after Daredevil. And then, of course, Friday nights, I'm also hanging out with our good buddy, Nick Weiser, on his channel with that cool Friday Night Comic Shop gang. But I don't think we're having a show this week because I think Nick's going to be out of town. Anyway, so that's all we've got going on there. Now, let me do some shout outs.
Let's do it.
Let's see. Let's make sure I got my ducks in a row here before I start shouting them, outing them. Shouting them and outing them here. I'm shouting you and I'm outing you all. I think so. All right. So here we go, folks. Shout outs. Of course, our buddy Mark D with us. Like I say, he may pop in later. We don't know. The great Lord Thoth this year, though. We're good to see you, buddy. Here.
LT.
Let me do the wrenches first. I always forget that. No, I don't always forget it, but I did tonight. First of all, if you're lurking out there, thank you so much. We really do appreciate our lurkers. And anyone watching on a download or a rewatch, thank you so much. You are much appreciated. And I try to remember to mention it when I can. Yeah, Nick's out of town. Thanks, Lord. I remember that now. Thank you. Thank you, buddy. You're the best, man. Avon lives, long live the Legion. Eric K. the Bronze Wrencher. What's up, buddy? There's the aforementioned great Chris Persia, vindicated wrench of the Great White North. Daybud Martin, the wrench of Iron. The aforementioned great Lord Thoth. Shout out to you and your lovely lady Thoth. Avon lives, long live the Legion, brother. It's worth saying twice. J-Man, the wrench without fear, partner in crime on Earth B. Happy birthday to Bob Haney, posthumously, and the other day. Buddy's daddy, Reno's Wrench Mjolnir, for in Vegas. Parallel the Super Wrench, the rascally wrench himself, Phantom Outsider. Clobbering Time's own music master, Max Redstone. And the
Maximum Redstone.
The great Triple Bullwinkle himself, Larry.
Well, you know why that is, right? Because he's a great Southern gentleman. And when you meet a really great guy, you should say his name twice, perhaps thrice. Larry.
The deedishness, absolutely. Let's see. Sorry. Got distracted here for a second. I apologize, everyone. I'd like to get everybody written down, because shouting you all out is very important to me. So it takes a while to get that set up to do it because things start going fast. People pop in quickly. So, but I think I'm ready now. All right. We have our excuse me, our chief of communications, our communications officer, anti-derivative Jilly.
Good evening, Jelly.
What you doing, Jelly? Good to see you. Let's see. Shooter's here. Hey, Shooter. What's up, buddy? Again, thank you. And thank you for this super chat. Putin's cat. What's up, buddy?
Putin's dog is here?
Putin's dog. Putin's rat. I don't know. I'm messing with him because he likes to see. We're just messing with you. It's okay. You're
right. It's in good fun.
FKH C 2005. Tim, what's up, bud?
Good evening. Nice to see you.
Hope you're doing all right. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano, and you know who they are. They are
King Dolphin TV.
In color. What's up, Raymond? What's up, buddy? Hope you're doing well. And Sandra, good to see you, Sandra. Hope you're doing well. Uh-oh. The Gwag is here.
Wagner.
The great RTNZ is here, and he has a super chat, so we'll get him shouted out. And thank you so much, RR. He says, when Professor X bellowed, make it so, as he used Excalibur to kill the lion in winter and save Claudius and Paul Atreides, I snorted. Oh, my God.
We should be paying RRTNZ for these.
Yes, we should.
I mean, the other way around.
I should be giving you a super chat for that.
Yes, it's quality entertainment.
I'm slobbering. You got to change that spelling. Putin's got to not slobbering. Cut the G off. I'm slobbering. Say I'm slobbering.
Well, you could say slobbering times.
No, that's his. I'm not going to steal from him. He wants to. He should do his own channel called Slobbering Times. I would subscribe to your channel there, Putin's cat.
All the dogs would.
All right. So anyway, let's see who we got. Hang on. Jessica Baker. Hello there, Jessica.
Good evening, Jessica.
I hope you're doing well tonight, my dear. Bubba Doom one.
Bubba Doom.
All right, buddy.
Jessica is Lasher's wife, right?
Yeah. Well. Oh, yeah. Shout out to your boyfriend. That's I think his girlfriend or something.
Girlfriend.
Shout out. They know each other. Shout out to Lasher.
Yeah. Shout out to Lash.
And they called him Scuba Pete. He's the king of Rabba Beach. When he plays the maracas, he goes chick chicka boom, chick chicka boom. Damn it,
you're home.
What's up, Scuba? Who's home? Oh,
Scoobs. The Scubas.
The greats, Michael Beacom. All right, brother. Shout out to Cassandra, buddy. Simply Steve. What's up, you old rascal? You?
Simply Steve.
She's a girlfriend, so he's a lucky man. Then he's a lucky man there, Jessica, and it's good to see you. Thank you. All right, Simply Steve, buddy. The Tetrock's here.
So apathetic.
What's up, Tech? RRT and Z, I already got you there, but good to see. Thank you for being here, my friend, and thank you so much for the entertainment there. SP4H.
Evening. Good to see you.
What do you say there, Joe Dog? What's up, buddy? Oh. Penny's here. Hey, Penny.
Penny, good to see you, sweetheart.
JT Kirk was a man, and he might even still be a man. You're a man and a half there, dude. JT Kirk, what's up, brother?
He is Kirk.
Sean Carter from
Mars. Oh, you got a present from Scuba Pete.
Thank you, Scuba. Thank you, buddy. Oh, this is a great chat. We love you too, brother. I hope you're doing well. Hope the better half is doing well. Good to see you, bud.
I missed you so much.
Yep, you rock, buddy. Come hang out with us tomorrow night if you can. Value of nothing. Hello there. You're always valuable to me. Duke Leto Atreides Cap. What's up, Capfind?
Evening, sir.
What is up with your bad self, buddy? Hey, Rennie L. What's up, Rennie?
Good evening.
Lovely to see you, lovely one. And Tyron Lethbridge, good to see you.
Good evening.
Uh-oh, the cuz is here, David Rayborn. What's up, brother?
Dave!
What's up, cuz?
How you doing, cuz?
Scribe Light. Good to see you, Scribe Light. Thanks for being
Scribe
here.
Light, it's so good to have you here. Thank you for joining us.
Empress NM, hey.
Good evening.
Well, hey, Katie. What you doing, dear? Hope you're doing all right.
Evening.
And Suzanne Eckstein. Hello there.
Suzanne.
Yeah,
good to see
Suzanne. I don't see anyone else, but I hope I did not miss anyone.
Okay.
I'll keep a track, and anyone who pops in will be shouted out accordingly. But I guess we're about ready to get a move on here. Are we ready to start? I'll go ahead and get our intros out of the way. Oh wow, that's right. Oh man, I'll see Clobbering Times. I'll see you in a month from tomorrow, says Steve. Oh man, it'll be good to see you, buddy. I cannot wait, man.
You're getting. Oh, is he bringing Maddie with him?
He's visiting the old homestead. Yeah. Well, of course. I don't know if he is or not. I hope so.
Oh, you get to meet Maddie.
I've met her once before. I was lucky enough to meet her once before, and I hope I get to meet her again.
She's so beautiful.
She sure is.
I would spoil that little girl rotten.
I hope he's bringing her, but I don't know. He didn't say, but he'll say. So it'll be great to see you there, brother. All right. Let's see here. So Saturday Night Star Trek, folks. Last week, of course, we went off a little off track because they had something to do, but we're back now on track. And what Saturday Night Star Trek is, at least for the time being, is about reviewing all of real Star Trek, 1966 to 2005, the 735 Club, as we call it. And yes, Maddie's all right. Maddie's gonna be there. Fantastic.
I'm so jealous. Oh, I would smooch that sweet little girl's whole face. She's so adorable. Gorgeous girl.
I am looking forward to it. So, back in the beginning of 2021, we embarked upon a perilous mission to review all of real Star Trek 66 through 05, as I've said. We started with well, thank you, Rennie, for being here. That's very nice of you to say that. We started with the original series, continued on to the animated series, moved on to the original crew films, then Star Trek The Next Generation, the TNG films, Star Trek Deep Space Nine, and now we are just nearing, not too far from the end, of Star Trek Voyager Season 5. And we do 4 episodes a week generally, and we have 4 for you tonight. Those episodes are... What's mine? Sorry. Those episodes are The DZZ, of course, Oblivion, The Fight, and Think Tank. So those what we got in store for you tonight. And I'm going to turn the floor over to my wonderful first officer. What little did they know how perilous that journey would become when they started Voyager.
Sorry, I put that up there. Funny.
Boy, howdy. So, excuse me. Let's see. Yeah, boy, are you kidding? You ain't kidding, brother. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so I'll turn it over to number 1. She will read a synopsis of our first episode, and we will discuss it a little bit. We will both give after we talk about it a little bit. She'll have some notes. We will give our views on the episode and ratings, and then I'll turn it over to our wonderful chat, and you guys will give us your views. You will give us any rating and any words you may have on the episode. So without further ado, our first episode of the evening, number 1, is called The Disease, right? The Disease.
It sure is. It sure is. It sure is. I should let everyone know, if you're new around here, this is an entirely organic show. Clubby and I do not talk about the reviews beforehand. We don't watch together to sort of fuse our opinions, and we don't pre-read anything. So I'm going to be reading extemporaneously from Wikipedia. Everyone knows that it sucks, but it's really the best way to get everyone on the same page about what we're discussing. And not everyone has a chance to rewatch the episodes, but are diehards nonetheless. And they definitely need their memory jogged so that they can commit to the chat and be able to participate. So we'll read from that. It usually sucks. We laugh hysterically at it, but it, like I said, it serves a purpose. So we'll be using Wikipedia.
CLS Studio, welcome.
Hey.
Good to see you there.
So tonight's first episode is The Disease. This is season 5, episode 17. And if you're following along in the companion or the celebration, and that's really where you should be getting your information, not IMDb or the cesspool known as Memory Alpha that has been completely polluted by the filth. The prod code is a 210. This first aired on February 24th, 1999. And some of us have been watching it ever since then. But
well,
we're
good night,
beginning to
Susan.
question-
Susan needs to run out. So,
Oh,
Susan,
good night,
good
Suzanne.
night, my dear. Good
Hey.
to see you.
Suzanne, thank you for stopping by and for supporting the show. Oh, and you're not
Yes.
feeling well. That's not good.
Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, but dear, I hope you get better and have a wonderful weekend. Go do something to go get rest and feel better, please.
Yeah,
please.
yeah. Okay, here we go. The plot from Wikipedia. Voyager stops to assist a xenophobic species known as the Varro. This species lives on a generational ship which has housed them for 400 years. While the crew works on the Varro ship, Voyager is infested with synthetic ship-eating parasites that have been released on the Varro ship by a dissident Varro. Meanwhile, well, that's not correct. It's a group of them. Meanwhile, Harry Kim becomes intimate with Varro scientist Tal and develops a physical bond with her, one that is standard in the Varro. Whoever wrote that, you should be shin-kicked into oblivion. The physical connection alters his behavior and sways him from his duties aboard Voyager. Okay, he knocked boots with her. They bumped uglies. She's an alien. And so now they are officially physically attached. I think that's what the nincompoops here at Wikipedia were trying to say.
Yeah.
I shall continue.
Hey, Ptolemy.
Apollome's menu and the pepperoni.
Sorry.
It is later revealed that Tal is one of the separatists, even though this person never mentioned the separatists before. This is what I mean. You need to be put in the agony booth on Set It and Forget It. There has been a rumor of a minority of Varro that want off the ship. The parasites that Tal helped create were made to separate the individual pods of the Varro ship without destroying the ship itself. Fractures along the hull created by the parasites begin to grow as the Varro ship begins to fall apart. Voyager's docking port is seized, trapped it with the Varro ship. Again, whoever wrote this, seriously, you need to be rovered. If the explosions get to Voyager, it would be destroyed as well. However, Harry comes up with a plan to extend Voyager's integrity field around the unstable ship. This gives the Varro enough time to stabilize the parasites. Once the parasites have been stabilized, Voyager breaks free as the Varro ship experiences multiple breaches and the individual pods of the ship begin to break free. The majority of the Varro remain together in separate pods, but the minority group that wanted to leave is allowed to do so. Later, Harry must painfully say goodbye to his recent love. Captain, my captain, please tell me, what did you think of The Disease?
The Disease. I wanted a cure. No, that was a cheap joke. I'll admit that. Here the biggest problem here is they had a lot of strewn throughout the episode, interesting concepts and conversations. They just really, it's almost like I don't know what's worse. I don't know what's worse. Something just completely bad all the way through, or something where you go, they're kind of onto something here, but they don't know what they're doing. For example, some of the stuff with that ship, being the generational ship, was pretty interesting. Okay, I'm going to be a guy here for a minute. God, I love the chick. I love the chick. God, she's beautiful. I'm in love with her. I can see Harry Kim being in love with her, but that's just me. I think she's wonderful. All right, so I do believe some of the stuff with Harry and Seven talking about, Seven's views on love and stuff being like a disease because of how painful it can be. Some of that stuff, Star Trek does have conversations about things like that sometimes, about the human condition, different things like that. But it's just, in my opinion now, maybe some of you liked it, it's just, and you hate romance stuff. I don't mind it if it's part of a good story. This is a story that meanders around so much. I don't want to be cruel to the kid, the actor with Garrett Wang or whatever. It's nothing I don't like him. He's just sort of, I, I don't know. Some of the drama between him and Janeway and stuff really gets old quickly. I don't like it in this. He's annoying in this. Uh, it's all over the place. There's some interesting ideas that they're talking about with that crew, not wanting to be a part of that generational ship. Every time they get near one of those ideas that's interesting, they leave it. They leave you to this stupid, dull romance crap that just gets freaking annoying to me. Again, and that's me. I'm not even like you about romance. Sometimes if it's in an episode and it's okay, I'm fine with it. And like I said, I love the chick, but personally, I found the episode to be wildly uneven because of that. They come up with some interesting ideas and plot points. They don't know what they're doing, and their pacing's terrible. That's just me. But go with your notes.
Well, I totally agree with you. I think there's some good stuff here, but I think it's mostly shite. Okay, so this everyone knows and understands that this is analogous to revolution or to a separatist movement when a small piece of the country would like to break off and go off on their own. I don't think that it's handled very well here. I also don't really like this idea of calling it a generational ship. It really should be an intergenerational ship, right?
Yeah,
Because you're passing it down. So it is a totally cool idea. And the fact that this intergenerational ship is home to a xenophobic species is even better. But we don't ever get to enjoy that, do we? Because that's when Harry starts asking Seven to teach him about love and romance. I'm not kidding. She actually looks at him and says, "Are you in love, Ensign?" Like, get out of here.
Isn't she the worst person to ask that about me, to be honest?
Yeah. Come on. And he knows this because before when they were going to get hot and heavy and bump uglies, she was treating it in such a clinical way and basically treated it like, watching cattle go at it that he declined. So yeah, it's ridiculous. Anyway, Seven assists as a medical assistant in medbay. Why? And here you can see that she is Lotto Super 7 and that she needs some scenes. And so she has to pull out her Lotto Super 7 card so she gets some more scenes. There would be no reason for this person to be in the med bay.
Holy shit, you're horrible.
Well, no. What do you mean? I'm horrible?
You are horrible.
I didn't sleep with Brandon Braga. I didn't give names where I said to people, well, the minute I started sleeping with Brandon Braga, people liked me more. I didn't say that. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
The stowaway storyline is another interesting story thread that we never get to explore. So first we have this really cool idea of an intergenerational ship, and it's home to xenophobic species. We don't ever get involved with that. We drop that idea. Then we also have this stowaway storyline. And once again, we have the opportunity to build on this crew that should be expanding. It should have a lot more personnel. And here we have this expert, but we don't. We just let that. We burn that story thread. It doesn't matter. I don't like this idea of pressing the alien sexual relations protocol in Starfleet. We have far too many episodes that disprove it. So even if you're looking through the iterations of Star Trek, I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about Chakotay being with Kellen. And we all know, the Ramura woman who was in Unforgettable. So no formal permission is required to bump uglies. That's just a fact. And so I think them pressing along and saying that it's 3 centimeters thick, the textbook on it is dumb. And and I'm annoyed by it. I also hate the meeting room that they have. I think the table is ridiculous. I've always hated that ugly green table with the weird rubber keyhole in the middle of it. What is that for? Isn't this supposed to be a desk where people work? Get out of here. Why is it like that? Anyways.
Brian Hepburn. Hey, by the way.
Hello. Harry explains love and romance to Janeway for an extended period of time. This goes on for several minutes. The acting is atrocious. It is so corny, It is actually unbearable. You have to get up and walk away from the TV. You have to crack a beer, got to scratch your head, make a cup of tea, fold some laundry, anything to get away from this corny shit. The love and romance, the lovesick Harry storyline is absolutely effing terrible. The intergenerational ship storyline is great, but we don't focus on it. And we never address the fact that there was a wonderful stowaway who could have become a member of the crew on this ship.
They just left it to nowhere. They didn't even
the road to nowhere.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah, you're right.
So it sucks, I mean, what can I say, right? It's a D plus.
That's what I gave it.
It's a D plus.
It a D plus. I mean, it's because of the missed opportunities with it, with a lot of interesting bits, and it's like every time they got near an interesting point, said, "Oh, we can't do that. Let's get away from that and go over here.
Run away from it. Oh, we have a great idea. Hurry, set it on fire.
Let's go." Yeah, we can't do that. They steered. They were like, "Hey, Laura Carrollton, welcome." They're like, "Oh no, we can't have that. Let's just go back to the even that character. She's pretty good. She's more interesting when she's not around Harry Kim, or when she's not dealing with the silly love story."
I would have loved it if she would have stayed on the ship.
Yeah.
That he would have learned that there would have been consequences to him bumping uglies with her, that he could never be away from her, and then we could introduce some type of canon for this species where we could say something like a maximum of 16 hours before they start to experience fever or something like that. Bring her on board. She's a marvelous sex pot. Everyone wants to look at her. We can have her training the boring schoolboyish Harry, and she is sexy enough for the both of them. But no, we don't even get her. We don't get her. We don't get the weirdo who wanted to eat the weird husks of bread up in nowhere land. Jeffrey's tubes. Keep the girl. Keep the sexy girl.
That's
what
I
mean?
More the merrier. The more the merrier, I say.
Get rid of B'Elanna. Keep the hot chick.
That's good. Yeah, that would be a good idea. Dad Man and the Dad Man Clan. What's up, Dad Man? Hey, buddy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you and the group of the family are doing well, Dad Man, buddy. Okay, let's see here. All right. Well, I also, like I said, I also give it a D plus. I just think it's just abysmal. So, everyone, now let me see. I got nothing from there. So, hang on a second. As far as your reviews, I do believe, we are ready.
The word is given.
Please come forth with any reviews you may have, any ratings you may have of the episode The Disease.
Cool. Apollome's Minion, I have not logged in. I did about 4.5 hours of gardening today, like hardcore gardening. So I haven't been on social media yet. I will hop on over there as soon as I'm finished with the show. And thank you so much. You're a truly beautiful person, and I'm so honored that you made that for me. So I will get my buns over there as soon as we're done here. Thank you, Apollo.
Hey, Lasher.
Lasher's here? Lasher!
So
I better go on mute so you don't hear my clips.
Yeah, no, you're good. We're going to store up a few of those, my friends, and then we will. Let's see. We'll get to the reviews. Yeah, but I don't know, man. Like I said, to me, I've seen way worse, but I'm not sure what's worse. Something that's outright horrible with no redeeming qualities, or something that, an episode that has some interesting ideas and steers clear of them when they were in, they won't dive head first into one. They're like, turn, avoid that one. Steer away from it.
Well, that's exactly it. I mean, Picard, he has to hold a meeting so that he can go to the toilet. Do you know what I mean? He's like, everyone, I have to pee. Let's have a meeting. Could you imagine Poopy Stew and his crew debating whether or not that stowaway gets to stay on Voyager. And here it's just like, well, you're out of here, buddy. No asylum for you.
Brogu from my old hometown. Hey. Good to see you, Brogu. So I think we got enough to get started. Oh yeah, okay. You had you starred one from Gwag membership, a membership of 19 months. Thank you, Gwag. He said, remember,
Wow.
Chatty. He says, I thought we were watching STV and not STD. Nice. You just started that. It stars member chats. Okay, so here we go. Bubba Doom One says D at best. Alternative episode title: Harry catches the clap or Texas Freckles. Another alien, another love interest. This is a one-off. This is the best they could do for Harry. Yeah, well, that's kind of boring to me. He's kind of boring for me personally. Nothing
Harry
against
would
him.
become so interesting if he kept on bumping uglies with this ultra hot chick and he kept on illuminating. We could turn him into like a comedic sort of thing. They have a little kid. Whenever the kid gets excited, it starts glowing. We could have had fun. We could finally make Harry fun. But no.
Yeah. Not much of a personality to work with, though. Shooter says, let's see, he says, C. Alternative title, Harry Gets Some. This is the PSA episode on safe sex. Is this the writers trying to make Harry interesting because it didn't work? No, it did not. And maybe it is. Maybe that's what it was supposed to be. What was the point of the romance storyline here? The microfracture parasites were more than interesting enough without the lovey-dovey stuff. Exactly. They always do that. They find something that might work as a story, but they don't really know how to handle it. Just go somewhere else. Let's see. It was implied that this ship was like the first step into space for the species, but they are technologically superior? Nope, it doesn't make sense. No, sir, they do not. Each section of the generational ship had engines and a warp core. I can understand. Having them as emergency life rafts, but then what was at the rear of the ship? They didn't think a whole lot of that through, buddy.
All of their poo. That's what's in the rear of the ship. All of the poo. All of the poo from all of the previous episodes. They were just like, this is where we're going to put all this shite.
Nothing says F. He says the title of the script was originally Alien Love Story. Garrett Wang, enough said. Are you kidding? Or is that a joke? I wouldn't. I mean, with this show, value of nothing. If you're kidding, I would. I mean, I'd believe you. RRTNZ says the disease review. Harry gets lucky and it all goes to shite. Predictable. Kathy expected more. He's only human. Why is she doing repairs herself? Screw the prime director. Despite that, it's fun. B-. Okie dokie.
Lisa!
Lisa's here. Hey,
Lisa is here.
Good to see you, Lisa.
Lisa.
Lasher says, sorry I'm late. No, we're just glad you're here. Don't worry about that. He said, apparently I fell asleep. My rating is a D. Harry sucks. Woo, I'm a Harry fan. Communications officer Jill, anti-derivative Jill, says D. While the chemistry and relationship dynamics in this episode works better than Tom and B'Elanna's, it gets boring quick, and Harry must be a clueless idiot for the story to work. Indeediousness. Well, hell yeah. It requires Tom to compromise ship security and doctoring communications recording records to protect his friend's love, not to mention Harry's grand theft shuttlecraft. Quarters house arrest for both. Yes. This episode also invents an absolutely inane and insane rule that every romantic encounter has to have official approval, even though This has never been established before in similar events. And I was wondering about that. I'm going, when did that ever? They just made it up. I mean, I know everything's made up, but I mean, they just pulled it out of their arse, so Janeway could be pissed off at him. If it had specified this was for a new species we don't know about, it might be able to along with it, but it said for any encounter. At least now I know why Harry is never promoted. They must have, maybe Kirk just had so much fun with alien chicks that they finally just had to make a rule. No, just kidding. No, it's not a Kirk rule because Kirk can do whatever he wants. Imagine every time Riker gets in on that he needs to fill out a series of documents with Captain Picard. Yeah, it should just be common sense to not mate with an unknown species. Good point.
Tell that to Deanna Troy. Where are you?
Oh my God,
Counselor Camel Toe. You know,
we actually get space herpes for real. I find it interesting. There is a very alien consequence to making love, but the rest of this Exodus episode was dull, so I give it a D. Thank you, Jill. I certainly understand.
Dadman's sneaking out of the back of the room. Good night,
All right,
Dadman. Thank you for being here.
Thanks, buddy. Be good. Michael Bickham says D. I am picturing Kenneth Biller having writer's block when Diana Ross's Love Hangover comes on the radio. If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I don't want it. Don't want it. Oh, man. Why make the Varro xenophobic? A necessary complication which is quickly forgotten about. Another episode that reminds me of a bunch of episode tatters that were thrown together. Does Tal get to live with Harry happily ever after? No. And why? To quote Critical Drinker, unclear. Or he used to say, don't know. But yeah. Or he says, unclear. Because they didn't want to have another character on the show. With a lot more work, something good might have emerged, but not this. A greedishness.
Imagine Beverly Crusher asking for permission to bump uglies with the lamp. Just think about that. The protocol is 3 inches thick. I don't even want to talk about the 3 inches and the fact that that's about a sexual protocol. Wow, God. 3 centimeters. 3 centimeters. Anyway, just imagine Sub Rosa. Think about it for a minute. Just be like,
I have to.
I have a green gas that visits my naughty bits every evening. Do I have your permission, Captain Picard? Get out of here!
Do I have to imagine Sub Rosa? Thanks a lot. Eric K says D. Virgin Harry's first time he falls in love. Figures. Harry gets in trouble, yet everyone else can spread DNA at every stop and every ship. Funny to see Bangway dirty and working. Dirty. Oh, yeah. I see what you mean. Why didn't Harry just bring the doctor with him? It would have solved so many problems. Argon is not that good to breathe, but we'll throw off scanners. Overall, blah. D.
I see all of the comments in the chat, and I love you all so much. I'm actually laughing so much that it's affecting my ability to speak, and I have to go on mute. But I want to welcome my buddy Zathras. Crap. Zathras. And of course, Professor R2. He says, "Do not light that candle."
Professor, hey, Prof, what's up? Prof R2.
Simply Steve, scented for your pleasure. Ooh, this candle smells funny.
Jesus, I'm going to. All right, hey, don't make me turn this.
Sorry.
Turn this live stream around.
Sorry.
Oh my God, are you crazy? Are you crazy, Gree? Hey, Zathras, at least I'm watching Babylon 5 again for the millionth time because I need it to, as a palate cleanse these days. All right, so Scuba Pete says in Neil Sedaka, they say that breaking up is hard to do. Tough to do. Pal, don't take your love away from Harry. I can't. I know that they say that breaking up is hard to do. Pal, don't take your love from Harry. Your parasites are jumping free. If you go, his balls will be blue. Episodes going down, doobie doo. Oh yeah, down, down, and down, 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 they doobie down. I know that part of it. It had to come back to me for a second. Scuba,
Down, down, doobie,
you.
down. Rob Altus just walked through the door.
Hey,
Rob!
Rob Altus, what's up, buddy? I hope you're doing well tonight. All righty, where were I? Oh, Lisa. Lisa says she gives it a C. She does cool Varo ship. So much fun laughing at Harry. He is such a loser. Wow. Where are the Delaney sisters twins? It's their fault Harry is breaking the rules and caught the love bug. I don't know how she fell in love with that. I'm jealous, I guess. J.T. Carp says D+. I always skip this one on a rewatch. I had the same idea in the 90s regarding ditching Belana and hiring the new chick. Oh, okay, yeah, Belana. Janeway is just jelly. She didn't fall in love herself. Changed my mind. No, I think you're onto something there, partner. Gwenor Wagner says grade D. I like the idea of a generation ship, but this was not the script to explore the ideas behind it. No, it wasn't. It was just silly, lovey-dovey dribble. Simply
Do you have
Steve.
any idea what it's like to be in love? If you don't nurture and keep that love, it's like, Harry, what the hell are you saying to your captain? Somebody slap Harry and then slap Janeway.
That scene made me sick. It's like, oh, dude, shut up. So, Simply Steve says F for no effort. Alt title: The Kim Possible happens. Kim Possible. Sex sells, especially on Voyager. Everybody's wanting somebody each episode. Sheesh. Gets planet all used people. Thank you, Simply Steve. Fancy outsider, he was the manery. He was the big man. D. Doesn't deserve a plus. They were trying to knock on James C. Kirk, and in most of Kirk's relations, I guess, he was invested in it. There should have been more serious consequences from the bonding. Oh my God, 3 of these do. As it seemed to be physical, emotional, and psychological, but let's blow that off. Kirk's in most of his relations was emotionally invested. Also, how many of the xenophobes left were they going? I wanted
blow that off, Fanti.
Yes.
Fanti, I want you to go directly to the agony booth right now. Yeah, I want you to have a 2-minute session in the agony booth. Go. Take your shadow.
Agonizer, please.
Take it. As it didn't even stand being with other xenophobes of their own kind. And to maintain a healthy society, you need minimum of 36 unrelated couples. But I'm sure it'll be fine. All right, dude. Oh, man. Fanti, have I asked for your agonizer lately? What happened to it? I lost your agonizer. Oh, there it is.
Your agonizer, please.
All righty. Well, are we done with this one, please? For the love of God.
For the love of God.
All right. We are freaking done with this one, folks. Our next.
Oh, Penny's leaving.
Oh, Penny, have a good night, my dear.
Penny, thank you for making Clobbering Times a part of your daily routine. Sleep, sweet, beautiful lady. We are so flattered to have you here with us each and every evening. Take care, darling.
Good night, Penny.
Okay.
All right,
let
so
me
our
go to
next
the other one here.
episode is,
Jeez.
of course, it should be Of Course Oblivion. Of course, Oblivious.
Course Oblivion is season 5, episode 18. If you're following along in the companion or the celebration, this is production code 213. We've all been watching this since March 3rd, 1999. God help us. Now, let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading the shite slathered on the thing known as wikipedia.org. And the good folks over there came together to make the following schlock. The Voyager crew celebrates the wedding of Lieutenant Torres to Lieutenant Perez, as well as the successful use of their enhanced warp drive that will cut the remaining time to the Alpha Quadrant down to 2 years. Their celebration is short-lived as systems across the ship start to fail, and Torres comes down with a crippling disease that is breaking down her cellular structure, eventually succumbing to death. Between the doctor finding the readings taken from the various systems, the crew quickly discovers that they and the ship are duplicates of the real Voyager crew created when the ship landed on a Class Y demon planet within the last year. Whoever wrote that? No. The biomimetic, a compound that makes up the crew and the ship, has become unstable within the enhanced warp field. Okay, so everyone, you already know what this is, right? This is the silver goo. That's what we're talking about. Malachi D. Wildman.
Malachi.
Hey, sweetheart.
Malachi,
Okay.
welcome.
As more crew members on the ship, systems fail. Once again, what the hell are you even writing here? Captain Janeway orders the crew to look around for another Class Y planet, hoping that exposure to its atmosphere will stabilize whatever is ailing them. They come across one after some searching, but it is protected by a mining ship. Though Voyager could destroy the mining ship, Janeway orders Voyager to retreat, putting Starfleet values above their own preservation. With no other choice, Janeway orders the ship to turn around and engage the enhanced warp drive, hoping to reach the previous Y-class planet before their ships collapse. En route, before their ship collapses. Sorry, everyone. En route, Janeway suggests the construction of a time capsule of materials not made of the biomimetic material, storing their personal and mission logs in case they do not make it. Seriously? Whoever wrote this? Like, what is wrong with you? Stop writing. Just give up on it.
Princess Fiona's here, by the way.
Who?
Fiona's here. Hey, Fiona.
Hey! Oh, also me and my monkey.
Me and my monkey. Hey.
Sometime later, with only a skeleton crew remaining and much of the ship uninhabitable, the remaining crew realize they are no longer able to make it to the planet. Attempts to launch the time capsule fail. The failing sensors detect a ship just in communications range, but their communications array is all but non-functional. Harry Kim, now acting as captain, orders the warp core ejected to bring the ship out of warp and allow them time to contact the ship for help, knowing it may tear the ship apart. The real Voyager receives a distress call and heads toward the coordinates, but find only remnants of the biomimetic liquid drifting in space. Janeway makes a note of their rescue attempt and orders the ship to continue on a course home. Okay, so this one. Oh my. I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you talk first. Tell me what you thought about this shite.
Hey, Patrick Britt. Patrick Britt, welcome. So you see, it's like this. It's let me just say this. You see it. Let me put it to you all like this, everyone. Let me see if I can say it this way. Let me see if I can say it. Let me just come out and just say it like this. Let me say something here to you all. Let me see if I can put this in its front perspective. Let me see if I can lay it out on the line for you all here. Let me see if I can I'm a copy of myself. Never mind. Oh God. Let me just tell you also. Thank you, Fiona. I am a dumbass. I will. That I don't. My mommy.
So bad.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm kidding. All right. Look. Okay. All right. Once again, this is we were talking about this earlier on the previous episode. The idea, I guess, these people can every time they get near something that might be interesting, they shoot it in the foot. I'm giving you an example. I'm going to tell you where this could have worked. I'm going to tell you where they started out on the right foot, and then jump right, and then cut that foot off with a sword, with a sai, no, with a chainsaw. They took a chainsaw and they had the right foot because all right, you start out. They're having the stupid, boring, idiot wedding scene, which was annoying crap. They didn't have to do that. And then we find out, hey, they're only 2 years away from Earth now, from the Alpha Quadrant all of a sudden. That's like, that's a red herring right away, right? That's like, wait a minute, what now? I know, Fiona, I was just playing around. So they're only 2 years away from the Alpha Quadrant all of a sudden. So right there, you know, that's stupid because you're like, we know this is some kind of a dream setup or what. We don't know what yet if you've ever seen the episode, but you know something's fishy, right? Not the Tom and B'Elanna getting married crap. That's just, ugh. Again, that's meant to be a red herring as well. It's like, okay, something's weird's going on. We don't know what. So early on, when they find out what they are, right there, which was early in the episode, I'll give them this. I'll say, all right, it's a good thing they didn't wait to the very end of the episode because that would have been okay for a cheap, like if they tried to pull a Twilight Zone or an Outer Limits where there were things they think they treat it like it's all a disease the whole time, and then at the end they find out that's not because they're the silver goo people. That would have been, you probably would have been going, hey, Dave G. Sound, good to see you.
Dave G. Sound, not just another body of water.
But we probably would have gone, some might say that's what the way they should have done it, to have a big, like, big gotcha, a big shock at the moment, right?
That would have made this an A. That would have made this a freaking A+.
However, that's what I'm saying. That's what you do with an episode like this, but they didn't get that. So if you're going to come out in the first, 10 minutes and tell us, we know we're not the crew, we're not them, because we have their memories, we're the goo people from the demon planet. Right there, you have like just a little flat terrain to go over, and then you got to try to make a good episode. You just put a big mountain in front of yourself. Now you got to make it. Now you got to wait a minute. We already know there's no shock left. There's no surprise left. So if you're going to do that, how can we be even stupider? I got it. Then it became a contest to see how stupid. Someone said, well, that's pretty stupid. Well, I got something dumber than that. Really, what is it? We're going to say they're only 2 years away from the Alpha Quadrant. Really? How? For some new technology? Yeah, sure. So, but we already know we're not really the crew. Why are we going to bother going back now that we know this? Why don't we just turn around and, try to find a planet where we can cure ourselves? Let's keep going. So they talk about it for a while, and finally they decide. And by the way, which is so stupid that they said that. Where'd they get that technology? They never tell you, do they? Not once. We don't know how they got this technology to do that, but okay. So fake Janeway, Goo Janeway is maybe stupider than real Janeway. I know. Bear with me, folks. I know that you don't think that's possible. She might be stupider than real Janeway. Again, I know that's hard to believe. Because when the rest of the crew says, you know what, the only chance we have is to go back to the demon planet, right? Well, which, by the way, is now like so far behind, I don't know how they're going to get back to it. But let's just forget about that for a second. As soon as they say, look, boss, if we don't go back to that planet, we're going to be goo again, and we're going to die. And she's like, no. Everyone's like, wait a minute, well, you got to go back there's only one chance to go back to the goo planet, the demon planet. No, she won't do it. I'm like, why won't you do it? I mean, it's the only. I'm assuming. And by the way, I know it's silly, but like, wait a minute, you need to go back to the goo planet to save yourself, but she will not do it for some reason. I don't understand why she won't turn around. So that's idiotic. And at that time, I said, I can't. I almost wanted to stop watching. I was like, if I have a pet peeve about things that, stories that, in order for them to be told at all, everybody has to be a moron. Everyone has to be stupid. Even fake versions of the crew. These fake versions of the crew are well, I guess they're pretty much like the originals because they're stupid. And at the end, now correct me if I'm wrong, because I've been trying to have them block it out of my memory. At the end, when they finally all just die, don't they? I mean, they almost see Voyager.
That is correct.
Right. Okay. How in the fuck did they see it when they were almost 2 years away from the Alpha Quadrant?
Well, that's just it. Not only are they plausibly within reach of the demon planet and just short of the amount of time required to get there before they expire, but Voyager is nearby, and they're 2 years from Earth, and yeah, and worst of all, the Vulcanian on board does not scan the debris, and he does not recognize it as the silver goo people. After nearly everyone on Voyager submitted a DNA sample to them, because the silver goo people became sentient and said that they wanted to feel alive through the human experience. Janeway then went and said to them, if you can get people to donate their DNA, we'll be happy to do that. And then we're out of here, which totally freaked me out because that would have been a no-no in Gene Roddenberry's Star Trek. But yes, boss, right. You are absolutely correct. Not only is Voyager near the demon planet, but 2 years from Earth, but the goo people are there as well. And once they are re-gooed, the Vulcanian does not scan the debris to discover, oh, my lord, what is this? It's the goo people. Gather up the goo, put it in sickbay. Nope, we don't do that because of Brian Fuller. Fuller.
How did they get close to Voyager? If they were 2 years from the Voyager's still like 60-something years away, right? How did they get?
Calgon, take me away.
I'm serious. I'm being serious here. Did I miss something?
No, you didn't miss anything. What you missed is Brian Fuller.
Notes. Go for the notes because I'm going to oblivion right now.
Okay, well, this is raising my blood pressure, so I got to calm down. So let's just do the notes.
For it.
7 is terrific in the opening scene. I love the fact that she says everyone here thought this would result in homicide, not matrimony. It makes me burst out laughing every time. A wedding. Oh, barf. Great. The captain has her stupid howdy doody eyebrows, over emoting and her over animated face again. Also, the vows are so disgusting and awful. I have to go to the dentist. I think I have a cavity. At this point, I think instead of rice, we just should have given everyone pain sticks, Klingon pain sticks. Let's zap them all, Got to zap them all.
Gwag, I know that it was because of the new engine that they created, how they got there. How did they get back? That engine was destroyed.
Oh, no.
You got it handled?
I'm going to talk about that in a minute because that is the real sin of this episode. Janeway says Lieutenant Paris, but wasn't Paris bumped back to ensign?
Demoted.
He got demoted. He got himself in big trouble. Big trouble in
on the real ship, though.
For being naughty.
But on the real ship, not on the fake ship.
I know. But still, watch because this will carry forward. Right? Watch what carries forward in the subsequent episodes. So you can tell that they've done a billion takes of their stupid wedding because the entire floor is covered in rice before anybody throws any rice. So, get a hold of Dyson. Suck the rice up between takes, man. Like seriously, what are you doing?
Hey, Cassandra.
Hey,
Hey,
Maria.
Maria. Hello there, Maria. Lovely to see
Hello.
you. Beautiful
And
lady.
Cassandra. All the hot chicks are
Hey,
here tonight.
two beautiful ladies. Cassandra and Maria. Lovely to see you, my dears. I hope you're doing well.
So
Hope you're all
Paris
right.
tells Neelix that he and B'Elanna don't need aphrodisiacs. If that doesn't make you gag, I don't know what will. I hate the bent metal thing, the animated metal thing. This happens a lot in this show, not just in this episode. And that's when we learned that this is molecular decohesion. But then Neelix calls it disintegrating. So we're not. Is this molecular cohesion or is this disintegration? Tom describing their honeymoon to B'Elanna is so barf-filled. It's melodramatic. It's absolutely ridiculous. Not to mention the fact that these two hate each other's guts until romance is needed. And that is when we learn that they are the Silver Goop clones. So very early on in the episode. Then, of course, we have the Chakotay and Janeway romance still continuing. They're still having dinner together. Insert barf icon. The dialogue between Janeway and the Doctor is absolutely absurd. Would Janeway help? She donated to save them. So what does the Doctor say? Well, what would make you think that Voyager would help? Well, of course Voyager would help, you idiot. If you have all of their memories, which you've been saying throughout the whole freaking episode, of course they would help. You know they would help. And they're your DNA donor. Nobody got milked. They gave you DNA here. Anyways, the mimetic imprint, they would already know this. Okay. And also the mimetic imprint, they already donated their DNA sample. So him saying that if they just had a DNA sample that he could fix it doesn't make any sense. Adding more DNA? Huh? Okay. Now's where this show is going to get off the rails, and I actually have to be careful because this actually raises my blood pressure. This is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about them treating us like we're morons. The premise of this freaking show is absolute shite, okay? The silver goo would be Voyager, okay? The silver goo would be the photon torpedoes, would be the L cars. The silver goo would be the food that they are eating. So it's the ship, it's the food they're eating, it's also them, and we've established on the Demon Planet episode that it is sentient. So when they decided to use the silver goo people in this episode, someone pooed their brain out of their bum because they did not connect to the fact that they told us that the silver goo people were sentient, meaning Janeway would have had to pick some silver goo people that were sentient and tell them, you get to be the ship. You get to be the L-cars. You get to be the food we're going to eat. Because remember, this entire biomimetic ship is made up of the goo people, the silver goo people. So this entire premise has had a frontal lobotomy and then it pooed the rest of its brain out of its butt. Okay, so some goo gets to be human, some goo gets to be eaten. So are the goo people cannibals? And which goo people volunteered to be the ship? Okay, how about the sentient goo forced to be the ship's systems? How about the goo people that were forced to be the nacelles, the chairs, the warp coils, the toilets? Imagine you're a goo person, and Janeway comes to you and says, "Look, we're the silver goo people. I need you to be the throne. Everyone is going to shite on you and in you. What do you think of that?" And the silver goo person says, "Sign me up." I mean, what the F, what the HE double hockey sticks is going on here? In all this time, the Doctor did not know that they were silver goo people. So This whole time, and now they're 2 years away from Earth. The Doctor had no idea they were the goo people. What?
Why can they come up with a warp drive with their goo self? Because, by the way, Taylor Swift is greater than Matt G. What's up, buddy?
Evening.
So why are the silver goo people able to come up with a warp drive that could get them that close to Earth when the other ones can't do it?
But it's not only that. That warp drive would be made from the goo people.
That's what I'm saying. It staggers the imagination.
Right. So the goo people sign up. They'll be like, I want to be a warp core. I mean, come on. Anyway, the signal beacon would be made out of silver goo. So it would be subject to the same molecular, the molecular decohesion. So why did they waste any time sending out the signal beacon? First they say it's a signal beacon, then they say it's a probe. Did you know that Klingons don't allow themselves to be probed? And then they call it a time capsule. Get the F out of here. Pack up your shit. Get out. Take your shadow and be goneth. Why is Voyager back? Oh, we talked about this already. Back in the Demon class area when they're 2 years from the Alpha Quadrant. And why is Voyager near this ship? Anyway, this is too dumb to watch. No one volunteered to be a chair, a desk, a cup of coffee that Janeway would drink. No silver goo person said, I want to be sentient, but this day I'll be a toilet. No, that didn't happen. So everything in this ship and on this ship and from this ship would be the silver goo people. Get the F out of here. Get out. Go. Get. It's an F.
You're killing me. I love it. Well, hello there. Thank you so much, Maria Votiertelli, for the super sticker. You're very kind. It's very sweet of you. Thank you so much, my dear. And hope you're doing well. Let's see. Thank you. Yeah, I also gave it like an F because, if you guys are not going to bother to even try, I mean, I know it's 30 years ago. I know it's silly, but if you're not even going to try, take these words back in time to 1999, whatever. If you're not even going to try to be to think your stories through, why should we try to? Hey, we're putting more effort in our reviews than you are in your stupid scripts, and I'm doing nothing but sitting here. I mean, Raquel puts a lot of effort into her notes. I mean, she really pays attention to your crap, and she picks you to pieces for sure. But by doing, and I do nothing but sit there and try to stay awake during your crap, and yet we have a show about it. We're having fun talking about your show. But you asses can't even put any thought at all into your stories.
And think about all the people who are on social media talking about the brilliance of Brian Fuller.
Why? Look, I know he got kicked off of STD, but he started it. It was going to be just as shitty with him there.
People think he's a genius. What in the holy hell was going on?
He did some other shows, but yeah, they're.
I mean, come on, man.
Crap.
Come on. Did you give yourself a frontal lobotomy with a shovel? Huh?
I'll also give it an F as well. And let's see, everyone start. Let's see, we're ready now for your reviews, your ratings and reviews you may have of the wonderful episode, Course Oblivious.
The word is given.
So, yes, go ahead and we'll start with those. Let's see. Before we do, Patrick Britt said something. Was it? There was a whole year of interesting encounters and adventures with a different Voyager. Well, yeah, maybe they could blame the shitty episodes on the fakes. Nah, they can't.
Jamalama! Jamalama ding dong.
Jamalama's here. Hey. Jamalama, baby, in my lama ding dong. You put the ooh, mau, mau, bup. Sorry, I like that song. I have it on my animal. I have that on the Animal House soundtrack. Thank you, RTNZ, for the super chat. You were too kind, my friend. He says, rename this episode Here Today, Goo Tomorrow. Ha ha. I like it. Well done, sir. Well done indeed, sir.
Oh, damn it. It did it again. I hate it when it does that.
All right, let's see. Okie dokie. Let's see what we got. A few of them started. We can get moving while you're starring those.
Rolling. Keep that clubby rolling.
So,
Rawhide.
Bubba Doom 1 says A+. Because of the happy ending, Tom didn't actually marry the walking borderline personality disorder. Goo episode from Goo Writers about Goo ship and Goo holograms. WTF. Goovix did nothing wrong.
Oh.
Zathras said A+. Oh,
sorry,
Yeah,
Clobby, it's
that
doing that
happens.
again tonight. I hate
Sorry.
that it does that. Sorry about that.
So, it jumps on you sometimes. I know.
It does. It jumps and then it puts it up, right? Darn it.
Way it goes. No problemo. Hang on a second. Okay, A+ says Zathras. I love to be covered in Neelix goo. Fun fact: Neelix goo was used in MOTU toys, Marvel Masters of the Universe toys. I did not know that. Well, if you guys aren't going to be serious about your reviews, I don't blame you because they weren't serious about writing this show. So, Lasher says B. I do like this episode. It's different, and I think it's a sad story. As someone with issues of depression, the idea of how little your death matters speaks to me. Well, there you go, Lasher, and I hope you're doing better with that. Absolutely. Let's see. J.T. Kirk says he gives it an F and says the Mr. and Mrs. Tom Paris relationship suffers from an acting couple with zero chemistry. The wedding scene is tedious and boring. The marriage was invalid as it was never consummated. It wasn't even goo consummated, right? They didn't even goo together. The goo replication should have been immediately detectable. Replicated matter should be immune from the issues as it is matter energy transformation. Please gas up that Claboni. Well, anything for you, JT. You got it, partner. Give me a sec.
Neelix, and I strongly dislike Cass. Hey, did I tell you that I hate Neelix and I strongly dislike Cass? Neelix, and I strongly dislike Cass.
So Scuba Pizza's F for story. A for makeup artist. And he says, I'll stop the world and melt with you. Why did we waste so much time on interpersonal goo and not have them run into Voyager earlier for a better story? Well, that was messed up.
That was cherry.
Thank you, buddy.
Monkey Max.
Mars Monkey Max is here. MMM, what's up, Mars?
He is.
Well, Mars Monkey Max, MMM, it is good to see you, and I hope you're doing well, my friend. All right. Shooter says F. Were Tom and Banana engaged at any point? Because this seems like a jump in pace from where their relationship was. Yeah, were they engaged already or no? No, they weren't, right?
Boss man.
Yes.
I hate to jump in. Please forgive me. It's so rude.
No worries.
But our cousin David is leaving. Good night, Dave.
Good night, buddy. Thanks for being here, cuz. So, were they already engaged or not yet, right? Not yet, right?
I actually, you know that I
don't
actually
think so.
hate the romance aspect of this stupid show.
I know, but I'm just saying,
much.
Did they jump the gun?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Okay. So anyone who
and
knows,
I think
just let
it's
us
because
know.
I passionately don't give a shit.
I'm with you. I'm just saying he has a point. He has an interesting point. If they weren't already engaged and they just kind of let the cat out of the bag. Anyway, also Tom, for the relationship was jumping pace. Also, Tom is back to being a lieutenant. I think that was because that was supposed to be like a tell, like something's wrong here because we know he was demoted.
Yeah, but in the
on
next
the real
episode or the episode after, doesn't he have the wrong amount of pips on again?
I don't remember. Why would I?
Yeah, I think he has the wrong pips.
I can't remember.
I think he's
But
anyway.
Because I knew this was the goo episode, I did look for pips in this one. Other ones I don't. Then I remembered this is a meaningless callback to the Silver Blood, and the duplicates just forgot they were copies. Yeah, right. The whole ship is made of the Silver Blood, including the antimatter. Yeah, they got antimatter, man. That's fantastic. How could they replicate the Doctor's program, not to mention all of the ship's data? It's mind-boggling how dumb these people are. And why would replicated items degrade? That is energy converted to matter. Also, we get to see Insane Way's true colors, obsessive to the point of self-destruction. Yes, because if she's acting, we're presuming they want you to believe she's acting the way the real Janeway would. when they're telling her they need to go back to the demon planet, no, why not?
There's no reason. And who picked? Who said pick me? Who horseshacked? Who was like, oh. And yeah, who horseshacked this shit and said, I want to be toilet paper. I want to be a tampon. Like who chose that? Who's like, I want to be the chair. The silver goo. They are sentient.
Yes, a shooter. That's true. Duplicates just forgot they were copies. Yeah, right. Yeah, it's what I don't. How would they forget? That's another good point. How in the hell did they forget that? This kind of thing you don't forget, baby. Fanty says, D. Here's what you missed: the new tech, but the new tech put the smarter goo people 2 years away from Earth. Look, the goo people were also ahead of Voyager. Goo people had to backtrack to get close to Voyager.
Value of nothing. I'm not about to argue with you about that. This actually isn't science fiction, because science fiction, by its definition, must be plausible. So it must be conceivable in the future or plausible scientifically. Otherwise, you would call it science fantasy, right? So,
I mean, if it was some kind of dream episode or some kind of crazy crap like that, Anyway, remember when Voyager left? Excuse me.
Chloe, you're on mute.
Sorry, I was coughed and I didn't hit the. God damn it! Anyway, sorry.
It's okay, sweetheart.
I remember when Voyager left, there were only goo people. It's likely that after Voyager left, some of the goo formed the ship as it mimics things, so the goo ship would be non-sentient. Are you sentient, Panty? I'm just kidding. Where's your next one? You're not sentient if I can't find your next one.
And Kay Roberts just walked through the door.
Oh, hey, Kay Roberts. Welcome. Good to see you. All right, so the reason they wondered if Voyager would help was being Voyager was behind them, showed goo people were better at being Starfleet than real crew. At least in same way didn't profit from goo's hard work. Okay. All right, let's see where we're at.
So many good comments in the chat. Oh God, I'm crying. I gotta mute. I gotta laugh.
Go for it. So, Lisa says, B, I like this whatever happened to the clones resolution. Sure, the science is goo and a mess how real Voyager is nearby at the end. Positive thought, all the crap episodes could have been the clones. That would work. I hear you, Lisa. Okay, let's see here. Our communications officer, Jill, has an Esh pick for us. She says, A, in this sequel, I'm allowed to forget the illogical process by which these aliens came to become copies and instead focus on them as they currently exist. Well, you're allowed to do anything you want, that's for sure. Nobody can stop you, and no one should. Goo Janeway is dumber than the real one. Wow, that's something. But copies often don't work as well. Chakotay is just as good at calling her out. While I agree they're being cannibals, they don't realize it for a while. They don't, but I'm wondering why they don't. I don't wonder how they forgot. It's just not logical. Even
Mommy,
though
when I grow up, I want to be the warp core. Well, I'm sorry, Johnny. You can't be the warp core. You have to be the chair.
even though it makes no sense that she would still try for Earth, knowing it isn't their real home. You can understand clinging to the identity you believed you had for several years. The biggest thing for me, Jill, is this didn't explain. I mean, they didn't tell you how they just forgot. I mean, that I remember anyway. I don't remember anything very much either, so who knows. Acceptance comes too late. I feel for this crew because they don't kill the aliens to survive on of the Class Y planet. Even when they find out they aren't Starfleet, they still respect life. Yeah, and that was cool, good of them. With you there, that was fine.
Hey, guess who just zoomed into the chat?
Who?
Enigmatic Drop Bear. Hello, everyone. Finally here. Had some dramas getting my bloods done. I hope that you're okay. We need an update. I love you so much. Everyone loves you so much. We're so happy you're here. Great. The erudite bear is here.
Hey, Dave, man, we always miss you. So good to see you, my friend. Jill continues. The irony that the warp drive enhancements were created to not be harmful for humanoids, but ends up killing the biomimetic crew is horrendously tragic in a gripping way. Okay, let's see. Hang on, Jill, trying to get to your other one there. Dear, let's see. Oops, okay, I got you. Got your other one. Trying to send out the time capsule and share what they've done proves they were just as much the crew as anyone else, even if they never really were. They had developed their spirit. They had developed their spirit. It's completely heartbreaking. They're forgotten.
Yeah, and that the Vulcanian did not scan the debris field, recognize immediately, oh, it's the silver goo people who we donated all our DNA to. There's trace DNA of 149 crew members out there, plus the goo people. Oh my God, transported to sickbay immediately. Nope. And also, Professor R2, get out of my head. You're not, get out of my head right now. Out.
So, addendum A1, A2 addendum. My reasoning for why they were close to the real Voyager was because the magic fairy dust enhanced drive hadn't been used until the end when they catch up to the real Voyager. Okay. Not sure. A2. And in the new speed given in the new speed given by the enhancements, they would have then taken 2 years. I know I am making excuses for some major plot holes, and that none of that warp drive makes any sense. Don't worry about it, Jill. You can like what you like, baby cakes. We love you. So, it's fine. I mean, I wish I liked.
Please stop chastising me in the chat. It's not fun for anyone. And just so you know, part of this show is that we don't ignore the chat, and sometimes we get on a roll or we interject. Clobby does that to me, and I do it to him. We've been friends for 4 years, so you chastising me constantly is not enjoyable for me, and I really want you to stop doing that, please.
Yep, we run this just the way we run the show. And I have no problem with Raquel interjecting whenever she wants to. And I'm gonna say, if anyone does, I'm sorry if you do. But anyway, Value of Nothing, it's you're up. We have your review right here. Value of Nothing says, B. What if you woke up one day and discovered you were a clone? I discovered that every day about myself. What exactly makes us who we are? Let's see. For Chakotay, it is to remain loyal to Janeway, even though he knows better. Paris reverts to his former with a charming nihilistic rebellion. Did I have a? Was that I already did? I think I got the second one. Did I do the second one already and forgot?
Or did I do? Not sure. Let me go back and check.
That's one.
What's the timestamp on that one, boss?
The one on his third, on Value of Nothing's third, is 1036.
1036. Okay. Let me go back and check, honey.
I'll keep. I think I did, but look. Okay. I'm old and Value. I'm old and senile. Value of Nothing. I'm old and senile, and I forget stuff really easy.
There are also a lot of people in this room, and you've just read through 30 or 40 replies. So go easy on yourself, boss.
Quite a few more. So anyway. I'll continue with. I think I did the number 2, and let us know if I did, if I missed it by accident. Value of Nothing, if you would, please.
3.
Anyway, for Chakotay, it is to remain loyal to Janeway, even though he knows better. I think I did. Paris reverts to his former with a charming nihilistic rebellion. That was his third. That was 3. Okay. All right. We're still Starfleet. We are not going to kill people. Great Janeway line. Also, she admits her mistake to go to Earth. Rare. She admits her. Yeah, it's true. She admits to making a lot of mistakes. Even the real one does. This episode uses a sci-fi premise to see how it affects character, and that drives the plot. Sorry, but that's why it is a good episode. Nothing to be sorry about. And if someone, if you'll notice, we have people giving F's and A's. Some people hate it. Some people like it. All opinions are welcome here. I have nothing. And we never had to do the show where we read anyone else's reviews. We could have just reviewed it, but we want everyone to have their say. And we love that people have different views from us. And the main thing is to have a good time. Also, talking about something that we all love, Trek, we don't always have to agree on it. And so I appreciate you being here and giving your reviews. So, there's no reason to be defensive if you like an episode. If you like I said, Jill's our communications officer. She gave it an A. We gave it an F. We disagree. What's the big deal? There's no big deal there. So, but thank you. And thank you for being here.
Thank you, Eric K., for sending that stuff from to X for me. Thank you so much for that. I did find it here, but thank you for always having my back.
There's number 2. I can't remember if I did it or not, so I'll just read it again. The episode is only important if the characters inherit the personalities of their double. For Janeway, it is to continue her incessant drive home, even if it gets the crew killed. Okay. I just couldn't remember. I think I'd missed it before. So ED says, well, I'll get to that one in a second. ED, I've got to go back to the order here. The great Eric K says F. So the goo bangway was as dangerous to her own crew than the real one, as the real one. Proof they're flying in circles since the real one is right next to the demon planet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness, I don't even know what to make of that. I guess goo is much smarter than the real one. I knew that was not Harry in the last one. He is still a virgin. Guess the goo people could not even send a message to the real Voyager to give them any information. Goo lives matter. They could have found any demon planet and got a reset. Stupid.
It is
stupid.
Extremely stupid.
Stupid. Michael Bacon gives it a C. He says, this was a different episode. Yes, there are issues you can pick apart, but overall, I felt they at least tried. The revelation that they are duplicates was pretty much the biggest idea. Once that came out, it's a story problem. It was interesting to see our crew going down fighting regardless. After multiple viewings, I want to see it fixed. I had forgotten about the episode that predated this, rather. Sorry. Predated this, and that added to viewing enjoyment. They went somewhere and got warp tech that Voyager did not, in my interpretation. In other words, got some warp tech somewhere. Thank you. I think like what's going on in the chat, what everyone's saying, because you're on the other panel and I'm on this panel, or tab, is that I think even the people who think it's a moronic episode are upset that they couldn't, that even if it was a good episode, that they allowed the goo people to die. Why didn't we save the goo people? It would have been so much better, but that's Brian Fuller, right? Why not have the Vulcanians scan the debris, see their own DNA there, because that's their own DNA out there, and the goo people that they know very well since they donated their DNA, right? So to make all these clones out of goo people, or out of the goo in the puddles on the demon planet, that was already an absurd episode. But I just think that it breaks people's hearts too that Bangway
is a complete moral failure, and that there is a moral failure, failing, an ethical failing in this episode. Because even if you're willing to submit to the absurdity of the premise of it, the ship, the toilet, the chair is all goo people, in the end, they fail to even scan the debris and figure out that it's them plus goo people out there in that debris field. And that's very anti-Star Trek. So I think that is reflective of the feeling in the chat, whether they love it, are indifferent to it, or hate it. And so, yeah, anyway, thought you should know.
Yeah, no, I got you. Let's see here. What am I looking for? Oh, all right. RRT and Z says, of course, oblivious. Let's see, review. Weddings, a nice start. Saving the pain sticks for then honeymoon. Well, okay, for the honeymoon. Vows were decent twist and demon follow up. Copy Kathy is nuts. Pointless episode, just filler C. Thank you, RR.
Copy Kathy.
Copy Kathy. Yes. Isn't the episode's the main one. Fanty has another one. Remember when Voyager left, there were only goo people. It's likely after Voyager, some of the goo formed the ship as it mimics things, so the goo ship would be non-sentient. I don't know. So let's see here. Simply Steve says, F, alt title, of course, oblivious. Slow and plotting episode tuned out after first commercial. Good grief. What were they drinking? And I had better things to do, like write my own Voyager scripts. Well, there you go. Gwag says, grade F. This could have been a good episode if this was a standalone episode of The Outer Limits. But good point. This episode is completely pointless and a waste of time as part of Star Trek Voyager. It does nothing to advance the story or character development of the original crew. It doesn't even leave them with a compelling mystery. Mm-hmm. What if they would have identified the ship as a duplicate of Voyager or gotten the crew logs? It would have been interesting, but can't have that. John Malama says, I didn't watch any episodes, so I guess I'm a tourist. Well, welcome here no matter what. We're glad to have you.
That's right. We love having you here, John Malama.
Gwag had another one. I thought it was 3 of 3. Or better yet, what if Voyager kept running into civilizations that know them, but they have no explanation why? Interesting, but they didn't think about that kind of stuff. MMM says, sorry, guys. I didn't watch the episodes this week. I've been tired since my last trip. Well, okay. You didn't have to start that one, did you?
Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, because it's important for people to know.
I'm just messing with you.
DJ Play Nice is here. Everybody, DJ Play Nice. Hello.
DJ,
good evening.
What's up? DJ Play Nice. Hello. Good to see you. Let's see here. What is that? Goopsy?
I just thought it was funny.
Why would you star that?
Your agonizer, please.
Sound. More. What does silver goo taste like? Not sure, but stenches of rot. Nah, thanks, but it would. Nah, thanks, but it would make a funny deodorant commercial.
If I would have starred the hilarity of this evening in the chat, you would not believe how wild and funny everyone was tonight. I mean, I've really been holding back. Everyone is so funny tonight.
Chris Persia says, my personal rating, 4 out of 5 raspberries. Overall, this was a nothing burger. It has no effect on the overall season or the real crew on their return home. Indeed, he is. Cassandra beat them. Oh, okay.
4 out of 5.
Oh, there you go. Cassandra says, Sean Beacom noticed the Klingon bride was still breathing while life-saving was going on. May the goo be with you. The goo breathes. So, ED, Enigmatic Drop Bear says, D. Cue the bold and the beautiful on the love boat rubbish. Rowboat rubbish. Yep. Of the love boat rubbish. Spare me. The doppelganger ship idea is interesting, however. It's just another on the long list of ideas poorly executed. I totally agree, sir. Totally agreement. J.T. Kirk, thank you for the membership. The 19 months. Thank you, bud. Membership
19
chat.
months, JT Kirk.
The Goo Crew existed, dissolved, and never existed. Yes. And Duke Cap says they existed, so they didn't exist.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something.
I knew you'd
Existing,
like that.
anything that exists doesn't exist. As that was it, Spock said, nothing unreal exists in Trek 4. Fiona says on the Goo ship Lollipop, it's a shite trip to the Neelix shop where young ones play in the hopes they can get away. I love you, Fiona. You rock. I had to go so far back. We are in the Greek alphabet minus. Fiona also says, didn't anyone find it weird that they didn't take a dump for 2 years?
Well, yeah, because that's not a part of the review, but this is what I mean, right? Like if the goo is conceptualized the same way as Odo, well, then there would be elimination and defecation, and they would be cognizant of the fact that they are Odo was the yellow puddle people, and now that they would be the silver puddle people. So it doesn't make sense for a lot of people. But
Right.
Clobby,
Thank you,
bought
Jill.
you a gift.
Oh, thank you, Jill, for gifting a membership. Yes, I'm our communications officer. You didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, my dear. Love you. You rock and roll. And I just want to say that I have nothing said. I mean, it's kind of easy to shoot any episode down with the plot holes and the inability to suspend one's disbelief. Yeah, you can shoot anything down, but that's cool. I mean, you don't have to either. But the point is, we let everyone have their say, and we don't, we let people do it their way.
And
that's what we're all about here.
I don't think I just shoot things down. I think I bring evidence to support the things that I say.
You back it up. You always back it up.
Yeah. Everyone, I have to interrupt, even though it's incredibly rude. I beg your pardon, but our good friend who we all love so much, Chris Persia, he said, I had a fantastic night tonight, everyone. My shift has come to an end. Bangway has approved my use of the holodeck to forget watching this episode. Good night. Chris Persia, you
Good
are
night,
loved
Chris.
by one and all here. Please give your dad a kiss on the forehead for me. Everyone, please keep Chris Persia's father in your prayers. He's has some medical issues, and he could use your love, your support, and those prayers work. That love works. So good night, Chris Persia. Thank you for everything tonight, sweetheart. Mwah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris Persia. Appreciate you, brother. And our final review, the chief engineer's here. What's up, buddy? The great Malkadir with a C says F, and you don't throw out F's lightly. Please make it stop. So many things wrong with this episode. You can't list them all. Well, no, I think number one did. I don't know if you heard her. She had a grocery list. And I agree with all of it. Meant to show how great the crew was, but it had the opposite effect. Would have made more sense if they had just set out to emulate a ship and crew. So set out to, yes, true. So why not pick the NCC's 1701? They should have. At least the Goo crew got closer to home than Voyager. No shit.
Yeah.
Plus, the Goo crew's work was all for naught as their work was erased. Horrible. P.S. Can Mystique transform into a starship? Yes. No.
Okay, value of nothing. I'm going to put you in a timeout if you keep it up. Okay, you have to atone for insulting JT Kirk. JT Kirk's you put it out there that anyone who didn't like this episode couldn't suspend their disbelief, and then JT Kirk said, no, that's not the reason why I didn't like the episode. I said why I didn't like the episode, and now you're being snarky in the chat. and I don't appreciate it. So you need to tone it down. You're going to see the good, the bad, the ugly here. But I'll tell you something. We've been doing this for 4 years. And one thing about Clobberin Times that's different than other places on the internet is we don't snipe and snark at one another. And we don't insult each other. We're all one big happy family here. This is a mini Star Trek convention. And I want you to pretend that you're talking to somebody like somebody at work. You have to have a level of decorum here. You can't just say whatever you want and set things off. Okay. So, what you said is like tantamount to saying that, a person has no imagination if they don't like the story. And so there are people who have been here for 3 or 4 years who are going to say, well, no, I'm sorry, that's not true. I gave the reasons why. And I have a really great imagination. Thank you very much. It's just the story's not good. So you really have to tone it down, because I'm not having it, and certainly not if you get into something with JT Kirk. Okay, so just tone it down and realize you are among friends here, but there is a level of decorum that is required here, and you have to step up to that. Okay, thank you very much.
There you go. Well, let's see. All right, so are we ready for? Oh boy, are we ready for our next episode?
Yes, let's do it.
All right. If we must. All right. Let's see. The episode is Choco-che, 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 choco-che.
I think you're going to give Mark a seizure.
Yay. Make it stop. The episode is called The Fight, to Stay Awake. Gonna fly now. Oh, Adrian, I'm gonna fly. I'm gonna find a bullet. This is my episode where I'm gonna be punching in. Yeah, it's like that, my friend.
So bad.
Yeah, I was a tiger. Let's review this episode, Oh, thank you, RRT and Z, for the super chat. Thank you, my friend. He says, new title, All Goo Things. All right, folks.
Shooter, are you just horsing around, or are you scooting? He says, gonna fly now.
No, it's the song. Gonna fly now.
That's the song.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what that song is called? I never knew that.
No, but that's in the song. That's the Rocky theme. And they go, gonna fly now.
That's
I love that.
Okay, you just taught me something. I did not know that. And
I love that song. I love that movie. I love that song. But
Sean Carter, where's your review?
Mazers. What's that?
Oh, just I'm organizing so many people. I'm sorry, everyone. I have
Did
to
we
go
miss
and find
Sean?
my Sean. Yeah, Sean Carter from Mars. His review didn't get read. What the heck? Did he get zapped?
I don't know, Sean. We never saw it,
Let
buddy.
me go
But
find him. Let me go
we'll try to
find him.
get it. Well, Fiona's saying we skipped it too.
What the heck?
Let's find it. Now, let me get rid of this crap. Oh my God, we're not.
I'll
Not on
find it.
purpose, dude.
Oh yeah, Sean knows that. He knows we love him.
Oh, yeah,
He
yeah.
knows we'd never leave him behind.
Well, we'll never get done with this episode. We're living in oblivion now.
I know.
Sean, look, dude, if you want to find it and send it to me on the Twats or an email or something.
I think he got zapped because it's not on my side. I'm not seeing it. I'm already back at 53.
Well, I had a mini review said LR Carrison. Did it get? Did it? Oh my God! Why did this happen? I can't wait to get to my favorite episode of all time. So, did anyone see that review?
Well, there's an addendum from Fiona that wasn't there before. Did you read this? This wasn't there before. Okay, so something's going wrong with the chat. Okay, hold on.
Addendum: these Hollywood hack writers tried to take on Philip K. Dick themes. Any resemblance to something that interesting, it was purely accidental. If you can't support a theme with a narrative, change it. If I don't get away from this episode pretty soon, I'm going to explode.
It existed, but then it didn't exist. It existed,
Yes.
but then it
Gonna
didn't
Fly
exist.
Now is the title. Yep. And it exists.
Ah, you just taught me something. I've never known the lyrics of that song.
Gonna fly now.
That's totally cool. Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
I'm.
That is the title. That's right. Yeah.
May I please have some help from the wrenches? Because guess what, folks? It's not on my side of StreamYard. I'm
Sean, it
already
got.
back to 45 minutes past the hour, and it's still not here.
He said I put a silly thing with Three Stooges song singing F. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, weird.
FAA, FAE, F5, 55, P4, 4, 55, 4, P4, 4, 55.
Maybe
That
it
what
zapped
is
it
that?
for that reason.
That one, Sean? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, Sean isn't here.
Sean, if you want to put it again.
This
Yeah,
is weird. And there's somebody else that also got zapped. Who else got zapped?
Who else got zapped? Oh, sure. I'm never going to escape oblivion.
I don't know. Listen, sweetheart, I'm all the way back at 44 minutes past the hour, and it's not there. Weird.
Now you just okay. He got it. I got it, and he's good.
Okay.
So we're all right, everybody. Done got gooed. Alaric said one. There we go. I gave it a D-. There was no explanation for where they got all of the data and database needed to operate the ship's systems. Thank you, Alaric. Absolutely, Ishness. Thank you. D-A-G-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D-G-I-D
Cool.
Hey, oh, Adrian, you know,
Right, Malachi? The boss would definitely agree with you, Malachi.
yes. Well, so does this one. Okay, go ahead. I have a confession to make about this episode once you do your own.
Okay, boss. Okay, The Fight is season 5, episode 19. It is production code 208, and it first aired on March 24th, 1999. Let's stay copyright compliant, shall we? I'm going to be reading the plot as it is written on wikipedia.org, the free encyclopedia. Let's do it. Chakotay is in sickbay, struggling to communicate with aliens through a vision quest. Through flashbacks, we learn that the events leading up to this scene. Chakotay is in a holodeck boxing simulation where he is knocked out. Shortly after, Voyager is pulled into chaotic space, an area where the laws of physics are in a constant state of flux. We have a physicist here, Fiona. 7 of 9 warns that this type of space can easily destroy the ship due to changes in the gravitational coefficient. We have a math person here. Chakotay begins to hallucinate, seeing his boxing gloves at various locations on the ship, as well as hearing voices. He is taken to sickbay after attempting to fight Tuvok on the bridge. A genetic marker for a cognitive disorder in Chakotay, surmising that this is responsible for his hallucinations. Voyager finds another ship in chaotic space, along with information that some of the crew are also hallucinating, suggesting that Chakotay's hallucinations may be induced by chaotic space. Chakotay decides to go on a vision quest, hoping to learn more about his hallucinations. There he sees his grandfather, who had a cognitive disorder that had been reactivated in Chakotay. He becomes increasingly confused when the vision quest becomes a boxing match that he cannot leave. He is awakened by the doctor, where he realizes the aliens were attempting to communicate with him through his vision quest. He struggles to communicate this clearly to the captain and the doctor as he continues to slip in and out of reality, returning to the boxing match again and again as his mind has latched onto the boxing holo program he had recently participated in. Chakotay fears that he is endangering his sanity and safety, but decides going back into the vision quest is the only way to make first contact. He finally accepts a confrontation with his boxing opponent. The alien sends information on how to escape using the voices and words of the crew. Chakotay, back on his feet, manually adjusts the ship, being unable to actually explain it, Spock's brain, to Kim or the others. After the ship is safe, Chakotay is given some time off, which he uses to further continue his boxing holo program. Boss.
Okay. Let's say I'm really dreading this. All right, folks. I think I have owe you all an apology because I'm not really sure if I watched this whole episode because I think I did. This might be a record for me. I can't tell you how many times I fell asleep. Um, I think I I I I watched I watched it and there was this I mean I like Ray Walston, but I what where were we? I thought we were are we done? Oh no. Oh yeah, the fight. Stay awake, let's see. Yeah, I really like the part where something happened where let's see. Adrian, hey, I do this business with Paulo Queen, Chicote. Oh, that's right. The theme was Chicote, Chicote, Chico. I got nothing. Just go with notes. I have no. I watched it, sort of it, and I don't know what happened in it because I think I watched it. I was, you know how Chicote's in a coma and crap in this episode.
Yep.
I was in a coma, and I'm the one right now. I'm back in my coma from watching this Goram episode. That's where I am. I'm in a coma right now because I did watch it. My favorite part is when I think it ended. Did it end?
It did end.
Okay, well that's my favorite part. That did end. You sure it ended, right? Don't lie to me. You wouldn't lie to me about a thing like that, would you?
That is an excellent addition to the visuals of this show.
This is all right. I have nothing. No one's saying you can't. I mean, you must not be listening. Not only no one, Raquel or no one said you cannot give your opinion that an episode plot holes are not important. You can give any opinion you want. You can say my favorite episodes are the ones with the most plot holes, or you can complain about the plot holes. She just got through saying all opinions are welcome. Just don't tell her what. Just don't. She just basically said don't tell people what to do or what to believe or anything like that. But I'm not going to go into much more of that for you because saying you didn't hear me get through saying all opinions are welcome here. Didn't you see earlier when we had those episodes? We had people giving it A's and B's and F's and all opinion. That's if that doesn't tell you, you can say what you want and all opinions are welcome here. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can help you any more than that. So that means basically is that you can say whatever you want at any time. You just can't snipe at somebody because you don't like that they dislike the episode. And you can't tell Raquel you need to stop doing this or you stop doing that. You can't go after her even in the mildest of ways. She won't put up with it. Neither will I. Now, you can come after me, but I'm different. You can call me any name you want because I'm an a-hole. I deserve it, but not her. And the thing is, no one else in the chat either. I'm protective of my chat. If you can have a discussion with them, you can say, hey, so and so, why didn't you like it? I liked it, or vice versa. Why'd you like that? That's also perfectly fine. But the snark, look, you seemed a little defensive because we were, that she trashed the episode and we were trashing it. Like I said, other people trashed it and some people liked it. And that's what we're all about, the diversity of opinions here. And so no one said, not Raquel, not anyone, that you cannot give your opinion. If that's what you took away from what both of us said, you need to have your ears checked. And I hate to sound, I don't want to sound rude because you're welcome here. I hope you stay here and hang out with us for a long time. I hope you always do. I love that you're here. And even with this little misunderstanding, you're welcome here. But don't play the victim and don't be defensive if people disagree with you, and don't tell people what to do. That's all.
Yeah,
So there
and
we
I
go.
would just like to
And
say that the entire time that I was talking, Value of Nothing was putting things in the chat like it's called science fiction.
yeah, you were
And
being
so
snarky.
yeah, like super snarky and going on with it and saying things to me when I'm talking to him where it's ellipses and then, oh, never mind. So the thing is, the folks that you have to understand is that I'm a teacher. And so I'm not sensitive. I actually have really thick skin because I come from a background where I'm always involved in this kind of environment. What I don't like, though, it has nothing to do with sensitivity. It has something to do with sincerity. And we have really worked hard to cultivate sincerity here. So I know when somebody is being insincere, especially when they're using punctuation and mechanics and they're saying rude things, and then to turn around afterwards and make it seem like they're not is it's cowardly. It's not very nice at all. So just stop with the sniping and stop with being snippy with people, and just relax. You know, Clubby has put a skull over Chakotay's face, a big yawn, and poo on Captain Janeway's face, and I don't see you going after him. So just relax and have a good time, okay?
Yeah.
But don't pretend that you weren't doing anything there, because you were. So let's just get on with the fight.
And as of now, I consider it dropped. Anything you say, if you're arguing like we put there, I'm not trashing anyone. Okay, if you say you're not trashing anyone, fine. Then I'm going to leave it from now on here. It's done. It's over. I hope. Leave it alone, and let's all be friends. And you can continue to put any views you want, but just don't go after anybody. We don't.
Clubby's not a bad guy because he put poo on Janeway's face. It's a joke. A bad guy. We're just having fun. Let's just.
I'm actually a horrible person. Ask anybody. But anyway.
Well, no, we're just having some fun. Let's just have some fun.
I'm having some fun here. Anyway, but this, I'll tell you when I didn't have fun was sitting through this episode. So go ahead with your notes.
Okay.
Matter is closed.
So if you go to the scripts for this episode, and I definitely encourage you
to do that. There was a script?
Well, what? Yes, the scripts for this show are published. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because in the very beginning of this episode, actually in the first scene, it is acknowledged that they are in chaotic space. B'Elanna Torres actually says, if we don't find a way out of chaotic space soon, we're going to die. Then 10 minutes later in the episode, actually at 10:12, so 10 minutes and 12 seconds later, 7 of 9 calls the bridge crew to announce, she's in astrometrics, she calls the captain in to explain that they are entering chaotic space. She explains it to them as though they don't know what it is. That it takes advanced Borg technology, information, and research to even understand what's happening. So, and then Janeway says, why didn't the sensors warn them in time? So this is some pretty
go around it for us.
Yes. So this is a pretty huge editing mistake. And so it is at this point I wrote in my notes that I no longer care about this episode because they don't care about this episode. So if they don't care about this episode, why should I? The editing is so awful. The episode is a complete waste of time. The dialogue of Janeway telling Chakotay that his sanity won't matter if he's dead is one of the most anti-Star Trek things I have ever heard in the history of Star Trek. She actually leans close to him. Close talking Kathy is just a few inches from his face. And he actually looks into this man's face and says, your sanity isn't going to matter much if you're dead. Really, that's not Star Trek. Really terrible. I also don't like the fact that this entire episode is the wormhole aliens. It is the DS9 prophets. It's corny, it's melodramatic, and it has a major editing flaw in it that should have been spotted. This is a writer's room filled with writers and producers and directors and creative consultants. This is not one author who's made a mistake. If it was one author who made a mistake, I would not be tearing this person apart. You want to know why? Because if it was one person and they had to produce all these beautiful ideas each and every week, I would not be saying that. But we have creative consultants, people who were specifically hired for continuity, people who were specifically hired supposedly for canon, and a room full of writers who should know better. So for me, because this is a massive disrespect of the audience, it's sloppy and terrible, and there are lots of people who could have prevented this, I give it an F.
That's just not enough. I give it an F minus 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 Z Z Z Z Z. First of all, if for nothing else, for the crime of wasting Ray Walston like that.
Yeah.
And since when did he know Boothby? I mean, they never just. I know that other episode, the species whatever was pretending to be Boothby.
Yeah.
And when he met him, then he was acting like, that was different. I know, because all of a sudden they decided to shove that in there that Boothby trained him in the box because of reasons, just so they could. If you're gonna have an excuse, that's all fine and good, but I don't know, just waste him in a piece of garbage like this. Quite frankly, but I don't care about anything. I don't care about plot holes or plot this or plot that or anything else. I don't care about mistakes. If you bore me, I don't care if you get anything right. You're boring. This is the worst sin you can commit. Because a really goofy episode could be fun. A really nonsensical episode might be fun sometimes. I don't prefer that in Star Trek, by the way. I'm just saying. You can be silly, you can be out there, and at least be interesting. At least give us something to laugh at, and we can make fun of it. This is the most colossal bore job. I mean, I was disappointed in an article. I was reading some articles about how this ranks only down at 12 or something of the all-time worst Trek episodes with a couple different types of lists. I think it was 18 on some other ones. Even in it was just one of the worst Voyagers, but not the worst. And that's, I think it deserves to be a little bit lower, I guess. Higher, or maybe I should say lower. I think this is because I've watched some horrible episodes, but I was always able to at least get through them. I'm not sure if I think I was in a coma.
Boss Dad, I hate to interrupt you because it's so rude. I beg your pardon, but our good buddy Zathras has to tap out. So crap.
Hey, in fact, to get through this Zathras, when I get done tonight, I don't care how late it is, I'm gonna go watch me some B5. I'm back on binging it for the 10-minute time, and it is comfort food after I'm putting up with Voyager lately. I'm just admitting it to you all right now. This is and stuff like this freaking episode. I don't mind a stupid episodes. Even a stupid episode, I'll give, it's dumb, but whatever, I'll live, and it's, interesting to watch. There's nothing interesting in this episode. Anyway, I'll shut up now. I give it an F with a bunch of Z's and minuses. But you might like it. You might like it. I don't look. That doesn't. If you love it, you're not going to get any ridicule from me, unless you're Mark. D, of course, he's going to get in trouble. That just goes. That's what I was saying. But anyway, all right, everyone. Now come through with your any words you may have about this lovely episode, the fight. ... to stay awake.
The word is given.
Let's you can stab me, you can shoot me, you can kill me, just don't bore me. That's a good one. Yep, Gunny Highway. Heartbreak Ridge. Speaking of that, Clint Eastwood, I have a picture of him later today. So all right, everybody. Let's see what you got. Let's see what she's got.
Professor R2, wait until you read his review.
There you go. Exactly, Zathras. So, see, not everyone has to hate it like I do. Shooter says C-. Well, chaotic space is chaotic space is interesting, albeit nonsensical, and the aliens try to communicate through Chipotle works. Also boxing, but bad boxing, and Boothby. Let's see here. The fear of going insane also worked for me, but had a bit too much of the focus. The flashback start, however, is not welcome, nor was it needed. Overall, I didn't hate it. Good. Gwagnar says, great F. That is. We have already been told what was happening right at the start of the episode, so there's no point in watching it. Just skip to the end and move to the next episode. Wow.
Thank you, Gwag.
I may have actually done that without even trying, in a sense. But Eric K gives it a D. Magic Mushrooms episode. So now Chipotle knows a Boothby. Did you gave your review? What rating did you give it? Number one, I forgot now. See,
F, boss. F.
Okay. What happened to? He was just the groundskeeper at the academy. I don't know.
Yeah.
And you could tell Janeway was jealous that someone else probed Chipotle.
Eric's raising a very good point here that I didn't even think of, and that really should be added to the professional criticism, the examination of this script and this episode. I really like this. This is not something I would have ever thought of, and I absolutely love it. Yes, why is the groundskeeper becoming everything? Including a boxing coach. So I love this, Eric K. This is so insightful. Thank you.
Because it was more of a Rocky ripoff because he was sort of a lot like Burgess Meredith and Rocky.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Get a pound in the rock. He's gonna. I'm not gonna kiss you. He's gonna tear you. He was Burgess Meredith, whack whack from Rocky. Yes, they turn the safeties off again in the holodeck. Who wrapped Chipotle's hands before going in the holodeck? Wouldn't it be better to have Boothby do it in the holodeck? Tupac won a fight. What, Tupac won a fight? Huh? Let's see here. Tupac cannot fight. They found another ship, then did nothing. Why? They might have found some info. Would have been nice. Some resolution with the grandfather. That's another waste. He's also a good actor. They wasted that actor too, by the way. There were actor wasters in this stupid ass crap. What crap episode? J.T. Kirk was a man. Give it a C+. Says, I'm a sucker for alien communication stories, so I'm predisposed to giving this episode a high score.
I gotcha.
I wish the alien had sounded more like Apollo Creed, though. That was he didn't really say that. Beltran is a good choice for this type of story too. I like Beltran. I'm one of the ones that likes him, but man, where did it all fall apart? I don't know why this episode fails to impress, but I just know it's a slog to watch. This episode aired just over a year after DS9's Far Beyond the Stars, from which it borrows heavily. Does it?
Bossman, I have to interject. I'm so sorry, but a wonderful fella who's given us the live long and prosper, Daniel's Hot Topics. He stopped into the chat and he just wanted to wish everyone a happy St. Patrick's Day. And I thought you should know because you're on the other tab, right? So you can't see.
Daniel's Hot Topics. Welcome, my friend. And a wonderful St. Patty's Day to you, my friend, as well. All right. Okay. All right, what were we? Oh, we're on this scintillating episode. Professor R2 says, "Achui moi, achui moya." Sorry. We are far from the lands of our ancestors and the lands of good storytelling. I'd say this was 44 minutes of my life. I'll never get back, but I wasn't actually paying attention. Z-.
Drop the mic, Professor R2.
I should probably give it an A for the nice sleep I got. Because I had to keep waking up and running it back. Like I'm not exaggerating, maybe 4 or 5 times because I wanted to see it.
Aid.
It took me like 4 hours to watch it because I kept having to run it back. I mean, even the other two that we trashed didn't do that. I was able to watch those fine, whether I liked it, they were. I didn't like them, but Jesus. So, Michael Beacom says F. Voyager is lost in weird space, so Chakotay mind melds with the Medusan ambassador to navigate back to normal space, but he forgets his visor. Oh, wait, sorry, wrong episode. You know what? I hate this one more than I hate that one. You're referring, of course, to Is There in Truth No Beauty, which of the TOS third season, which I really hate. That's one of my top 3 or 4, bottom 3 or 4 hated episodes, and I think I hate this one more. I might start liking that episode now in spite of this one. Just because you mentioned it. No particular reason. I don't know. I really hate that. God almighty. I don't like hating any episode of TOS, but some of them, I'm sorry, they're human. Some made the show. Some of them deserve it. But they're not as bad as... Seriously, this was just a bad episode. Until you mentioned it, I had even forgotten that I had watched this a week ago when I thought we'd be reviewing it last week. Bad production and script. It is very forgettable. Bad production and script. Thank you, Michael. Bob Doom 1 says FZZZ. He said, what didn't Boothby do? I think what happened here is they mistook Ray Walston for Burgess Meredith. Yes. How are you going to knock you in tomorrow, Rock? Yeah. RRTNZ says, the fight review. Boothby's a terrible boxing coach. The match vision quest was a tortured metaphor and excuse for Beltran to overact. This is disco level bad, discovery level writing C-. Oh boy. It's hard to argue with that one. All right, so Bubba Doom also. Oh, he had a second one. I'm sorry, Bubba Doom. Your other one said 1 of 1, didn't it? Anyway, the writers of this episode have never, writers should be in quotes, never been in a fight or watched a boxing match, and it shows. Thank you. Sorry about that, buddy. Value of Nothing said F. I couldn't finish it either. I can't defend this. I tried. Well, I appreciate that, Value of Nothing. You should say, Adrian, I tried to watch the episode, but I just couldn't. It's like, it was, I'd rather get punched in the face by Clubber Lang 20 times and try to watch this one again. You know what I mean? JT Kirk. Thank you for the super chat, JT Kirk. I appreciate you. What he says. These reviews aren't pulling any punches tonight. Oh,
I feel like we should be paying him for that wonderful pun. Chris Persia has left the building, so I can't ask if he considers this officially to be a dad pun or not. But I do love it, JT Kirk. You are Kirok.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. We'll give you the closest thing we have to a punch.
Crazy. Crazy.
Thank you, JT Kirk.
And before we get back underway, boss, it's super important that we all say goodnight to Brogu. He says, good night, everyone.
Good night,
Enjoy
Brogu.
the rest of your weekend. And always remember, this is the way.
Good night, Brogu. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. You're my hero. Have a great weekend.
Our communications officer says, Z. Wow. Love you, Jill. Even though an alien is trying to get through to Chakotay, hey, call me Rocky, call me Chakotay this episode. What it's trying to communicate and why doesn't make sense, or what it's trying to communicate and why doesn't make sense or come together in any comprehensible way throughout the entire endeavor. This is a poor recreation of Night Terrors, which I also gave an F. Wow. But at least their excruciating riddle had an answer. Worst use of Boothby ever. They make DS9 prophets seem forthright. That's a very good. Yes, Jill. Yes, Jilly. At least the hallucinations of the crew in Night Terrors had a horror element. Mm-hmm. This one just makes Chakotay seem like he's falling into a middle-aged dementia. So bad. Cluboni, please.
Yeah.
You ask and you shall receive. My wonderful chief of communications. Here we go.
Neelix, and I strongly dislike Cass. Hey, did I tell you that I hate Neelix and I strongly dislike Cass? Neelix, and I strongly dislike Cass.
Scuba Pete says C minus. 2.5 out of 5 punches to the groin.
I have to interrupt and say that I totally agree with Jill. I think that what's really scary is how high dementia numbers are for us, and how many of us are going to pass away and we're going to have dementia. And the way that it was raised, it makes you feel like it's dementia, and then it's some sort of gene that he's carrying. I also thought that was very strange, because dementia is a very sensitive topic, right?
Yeah.
So I also found that sad, and also like totally mishandled. Anyway, good one, Jill.
This episode gave me dementia.
Globby.
Not that I didn't already have it, but still. Fanty says F this episode. F. I think he didn't mean F this episode, but I do. This episode failed Ray Walston, who thankfully only a month earlier was in the continuation of my favorite Martian. Oh yeah, which was far superior, although a terrible movie, except for Ray Walston. Oh yeah, good lord. And they on Boothby, they should have made like some kind of reference to Boothby's from Mars. That would have been fun. Anyway, enigmatic drop bear. It says F. So this chaotic space thing is supposed to be some sort of interstellar Bermuda Triangle. Okay, but without explaining how it's supposed to work, it's nothing but a nonsensical plot device. Aliens attempting to communicate beyond the realms of mankind's comprehension is a solid premise for a sci-fi story. It's a sophisticated concept requiring talented writing and direction to convey. This episode is a textbook example of how to fail in achieving this. Nice. Yeah, nice. What is this story trying to say anyway?
Mm-hmm.
Is it an allegory about a person's descent into badness?
Mm-hmm.
It utterly fails in that regard. Maybe it was put out there as a cure for insomnia. Well, it worked. Then it deserves an A then for that, because it worked for me. I think I'm gonna be using it every time I can't sleep.
Sleeping aid.
Yeah, five seasons, and we find out Chipotle was a boxer, just for no reason. This lot do not know how to develop their characters. It's always whatever the plot of the episode requires, a never-ending slew of contrivances. Thank you, E.J. So great to see you, man.
Boss, I have to interrupt because guess who just walked through the door?
Ooh,
Adrian James.
Adrian James.
Good evening, Adrian. So good to see you. Everyone, say hello to Adrian. Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you. Welcome. Hope you're doing well, Adrian James. All righty then. Simply Steve says to F-finity and beyond. What in the hell? Chaotic space is makes me kind of punchy. It's only both have knowledge of it. Only both have knowledge of it. Really? It was a colossal waste of everyone, including the great Ray Walston. Space me now, please. Oh yeah, let me tell you something. I really agree with that. I'm kind of punchy when I watch this episode. Adrian. Oh, you're Stephen. I'm sorry. Thank you, Stephen. Lisa gives it a D. Like the crew snippet sequence of the alien communicating with him, deep thought, genetic disorder considered crazy, that allowed to communicate with chaotic, crazy space. Cool. Ugh, a boxing vision quest. Thank you, Lisa. I hear you.
Lisa.
Dave J. Sound says, can't tell you that's a flower bed. I mean uppercut. That's a flower bed. Thank you. Good to see you, Dave G. Sound. I hope you're doing well. Lasher says, I do not remember this episode in the slightest. Question, though. Is that the guy from my uncle, the Martian? Yes. My uncle. My favorite Martian.
My favorite
He was
Martian.
Uncle. Yeah, Uncle Martin.
Sorry,
But
not
yes.
review, but you know how I like to interact with the
Yeah.
chat.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'd like the chat to interact with us. So sorry
Yes,
about
Ray
that.
Walston. No problem. That's right. Ray Walston was from my favorite Martian with Bill Bixby. Great show. Dave Jones says, "Oh, D, a nice long commute just for Star Trek episode form." Fiona the Princess says, I've consulted on a few shows and was totally ignored each time. I don't know why they bothered. I'm sure they had science consultant to tell them this was stupid, and they did it anyway. That's their
Wow,
their whole raison
interesting.
d'etre. That is interesting. That's their whole raison d'etre is ignoring.
Well, I should say to everyone
This-
here, like, if you don't know Fee, she's a physicist. So she's an academic and a physicist. So that's why Clobby and I are like, oh, wow, really? Anyway, sorry to interrupt. Please continue, Clobby.
Idiousness. No problem. In this case, they couldn't even get a nomenclature of the MacGuffin correct. They lost me at chaotic space. Also, the suburban white guy interpretation of Native American traditions.
Yes.
Yeah, they prob had a tribal consultant that they also ignored. The cake is poop. The frosting is poop. This is an all poop episode. F minus, I guess.
Oh,
At least Ray got a little paycheck. Yeah, good old Ray. You gotta love Ray. And our final review of this episode, I hope. The great Chief Engineer Mark David C says, F. Please make it stop. So terrible and brain killing. I can't bring myself to write any more about this boring, incomprehensible turd of an episode. And this is a man, don't throw those F's around much.
he doesn't. He's kind. He's a scoutmaster. And also Dave G Sound. Wes Cagle!
Oh, my friend, thank you. He says, sorry to be late. You're never late. We're just glad you're here. But sorry to be late, guys. However, I can still rate all the episodes. They're all F.
Wes, how are you, sweetheart? We missed you.
Fan I know. Thank you, Wes. That's very kind of you. It's good to see you. Are we done with this one?
We're done, boss. Let's move on to the next one.
All righty then. Well, let's do it. Let's see. One more episode to go, folks, and that is.
Ooh! You got a gift from Bubba Doom.
Mm-hmm. I did. Oh, Bubba Doom, thank you so much, Bubba Doom. He says, from another Vision Quest, did you see the size of that chicken? Thank you so much, Bubba Doom. I really appreciate that.
Groovy.
Yes. So thank you so much, sir. Really appreciate you there. All right. So our next episode is
Stink Tank.
Think Tank. Are you kidding me? This is Shakespeare compared to what we just went through. Anyway, spoiler alert. All right. So while you're doing that, I must get me a medicine thingy. So
okay, don't worry.
I'll be right
I
back.
have people here. Good. All right. So this is Think Tank. This is season 5, episode 20. If you're following along in the celebration or the companion, you need to know that this is production code 214. This episode first aired on March 31st, 1999. Keeping copyright compliant, I will be reading from wikipedia.org. The plot, as created by numerous people in this user-generated encyclopedia, if you want to call it that, very loosely call it that. Okay, let's go. Voyager is sought out by the Hazari, unyielding bounty hunters of the Delta Quadrant within a sector of space. Every escape route devised by the crew leads to dangerous battles with the Hazari. At their wits' end, they are suddenly visited by Kuros, played by Jason Alexander, the speaker for a small group of highly intelligent aliens that Captain Catherine Janeway dubs the Think Tank. Their vessel, hidden safely from the Hazari in subspace, includes a telepathic module that allows Kuros and his group to quickly communicate and solve complex problems. As Janeway and Seven of Nine are brought aboard and Seven is given a brief opportunity to experience their telepathic communication, the think tank offers their services to Voyager, a means of escaping the Hazari in exchange for a selection of Voyager's technology and unique items. Well, whoever crafted that sentence should be flogged. I'm just kidding. Janeway seems pleased with the solution until she is informed by Kuros that they would also like Seven as a part of payment. Both Janeway and Seven refuse this payment. That's not true. That's not what happens at all. We'll talk about that later. But Kuros seems to offer, but keeps the offer on the table and offers a free bit of advice for dealing with the Hazari as a good faith sign of their cooperation. Voyager is able to capture a sole Hazari ship, beaming the crew aboard. In their records, they find out who placed the bounty on Voyager. Seemingly, it was the Malon. The crew recognized oddities in the information as stored on the computer, as well as the atypical motivation of the Malon, and investigate further. They discovered that it was really Kuros who had hired the Hazari, and the think tank has been playing both sides of the conflict to force Janeway into handing over Seven so they get what they want. Explaining the situation to the Hazari, the combined crew begins to work out a way to outsmart the think tank. Janeway and Hazari orchestrate a scenario in which Voyager appears to be falling under Hazari attack, and Seven leaves in a shuttle, supposedly giving in to the think tank's demands. The shuttle disappears into subspace with the think tank ship. Aboard, Kuros welcomes Seven, but is suspicious of their capitulation and links her to the telepathic matrix to probe her mind. The waiting Voyager crew sees this and send a signal through Seven's cybernetic implants, causing a telepathic matrix to shut down, incapacitating the think tank. The ship falls out of subspace and soon is attacked from all sides by the Hazari, now seeking revenge on them. Voyager rescues Seven and leaves the think tank to potentially be destroyed at the hands of the Hazari. And that is all Wikipedia has to say about think tank. Captain, my captain, mon capitaine. Please tell me, what did you think of think tank?
Hello there. Goodbye, to Jill. Good night. Good to see you, Jill.
Good night,
Thanks for being here, but dear, hope you have a good night. Take care. And somebody else was running, I think. I can't remember who it was, but I must have missed it. So anyway, have a good night, Jill. I don't know. I thought it was mildly an entertaining episode. I mean, I don't know. I gather you didn't like it very much, but I thought it was okay. Maybe I just thought it should have been a Seinfeld episode. George Costanza. Should have on that. I mean,
I actually think that he gives a decent performance here.
Oh, he's a big Star Trek fan.
Yeah. I think I think he did a marvelous job here. The problem is that I like this episode better the first time I watched it. The most toys. I can see the similarity to it, but I thought it was. I mean, it is a bit different because I liked all the stuff about them being a bunch of being pirates. That guy was just a guy that wanted money. He was like a Ferengi. It was a good episode. By the way, Most Toys is a better episode. It's a really good one. It is.
But this one, I kind of like the concept. I like the idea of them being in this think tank. Well, that's what what's her name called? It was coined. Yeah. She legged that tag on them, and I just like the idea that they were people that did that. They like to gather different scientific things like that, and I kind of like the way they got the table started. For once, maybe I was just so happy that I wasn't falling asleep. But maybe for once, the way Janeway turns the tables on them at the end, I'm like, wait a minute, you're going to actually write Janeway to do something smart and outwit somebody like that for a change? Because usually, look, this is not about characters are what the writers give them. And they write her like an idiot so much.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they actually let her, and usually, let's be honest, obviously we know Voyager always ends up winning, or usually ends up winning. When they do, it's because somebody else in the crew or other people are doing shit and keeping her from, and she always wants to do something stupid. Remember, a lot of times Chakotay is pushing back and he's usually right because he says don't. And this one, they beat him at the end, and I don't know. I just thought it was a mildly amusing, fairly entertaining episode. I don't disagree with you that most toys is better, but it was different enough from that one for me. But anyway, go with your notes.
Okay. I think that this episode exhibits outstanding makeup and costuming. Many times we see horrible, horrible makeup and costuming on Voyager. It's really the worst. Like, it's supposed to improve, and you have no cause to say anything about TOS. However, in this episode, the makeup and costuming are just excellent. The opening scene implies that Seven is more intelligent than Bangway, and that she's able to reason things much quicker and certainly better than Bangway. This is a little odd, given that this is Star Trek, and of course, the captain should be a quick thinking once information is provided. This is definitely an attempt to make Seven more like Spock. And instead, what it does is it makes it seem like Seven is more intelligent. And certainly Spock isn't more intelligent than Captain Kirk. It's just a different type of intelligence, and certainly the way that it's expressed. So I found it to be very uncharacteristic of Star Trek. This episode is so much like TNG's The Most Toys that it's hard not to confuse or fuse them conceptually. And I talk about recycling a lot in Star Trek, where people have their favorite iteration, and then they very dutifully memorize their favorite iteration, but they fail to imbibe the entire 735 and take note of just how much recycling goes on, especially in the naming of things. And this is also why I don't do very well at trivia, because if you're imbibing all 735 episodes, you realize that there is so much recycling that being able to have those answers is limited only to those who dedicate themselves to one iteration or another. So here are the reasons why it is too much like The Most Toys. We have this concept of extremely rare and precious interspecies collecting and exhibiting. Kivas, Fajo, and Kuros both create and solve the problem for the Starfleet crew. Both Data and Seven are needed for the collection, the exhibit. The museum is dispossessed in The Most Toys and in Think Tank. Kivas and Kuros attempt to convince Data and Seven of just how unique and special they are. And specifically, they are fascinated, both Kivas and Kuros, about the perfection of this individual who is unique. So it's just way too much. They're taking way too much from The Most Toys. This is shameless recycling of The Most Toys. It offers a more and The Most Toys offers a more powerful conversation in the finishing moments about whether or not Data is capable of murder. And so, of course, we don't have that in this episode. All we have is the entire setup of The Most Toys, the entire idea behind The Most Toys, the entire action behind The Most Toys. But in the end, the thing that really gets you is Pinocchio, who is programmed not to harm human beings unless they do something horrible and it's in defense. Is he capable of murder? And of course that doesn't happen here because Seven isn't Data, but it's just too much recycling. It's going, every single scene is going after The Most Toys and borrowing from it. The thing is that what we're really talking about here is human trafficking, and it's revisited in the same way, but there's no sympathy, there's no guts, there's no intelligence to it, because there's a line in it that I encourage you to go and read in the scripts for Think Tank Voyager scripts. That's all you have to type in and you'll get it immediately. I would like you to reconsider the conversation where Janeway actually goes in and says to Seven, look, if I'm going to leave it up to you to consider whether or not you want to go and be a part of Kuros's museum. And where I find this problematic is that what it is that it's somebody considering willingly becoming property. So she would be a transaction. And so it's human trafficking. So why would a Starfleet captain say to someone, I'm going to leave this up to you? So the writing here, I think, is very un-Star Trek. I think it's cold and dumb and absolutely horrible messaging. And this was written by Rick Berman and Brannon Braga, and that's a real shame, especially because Michael Taylor, the Michael Taylor who thinks he's awesome sauce, is the one who did the teleplay for this. And so it's just they took everything from the TNG episode, but they removed all of the heart, the sympathy, and of course, this more powerful, this more philosophical question about the nature of our beloved Pinocchio, and instead replaced it with a Starfleet captain asking a member of her crew to consider willingly becoming the property of these museum holders. So for me, I think that this is a disgrace. I think it should be actually removed from the canon. And I think the people who were involved in making this should be ashamed of themselves. And I give it an F.
Okay. Wow. I guess you go way into it. I don't even, I can't even ever hope to keep up with you in terms of the way you analyze these episodes, and I won't even try. I thought it was mildly entertaining. I didn't mind it that much. I give it a C because I thought it was just so okay, but I didn't fall asleep. And I like I don't know. I didn't see it that close to most boys. I mean, I never even I don't know. Yeah, there's some elements to it, but it's not that similar. Even though
the room even looks the same. I challenge everyone who is watching tonight to hold those two episodes side by side, and I want you to consider.
I'm not saying they're not similar in some ways, but I don't think
Kivas and Kuros and this idea of perfection and collecting human beings or collecting sentient beings, and Kivas, Fajo, and Kuros both creating the problem and offering to be the solution falsely, and then Starfleet figures out that they created the problem to offer the false solution to entrap them in giving a human being as currency or to become a part of a museum. Yeah, this is way too much like the most toys for me. So and I don't like Janeway saying in the end that someone should consider being trafficked. That's human trafficking, and certainly that's not what happens in the most toys, and it shouldn't be happening here. Janeway should come bounding in and say, Seven, I would never ever expect you to be currency. These people are crazy. There is no way we are going to be a part of human trafficking. You are not property. I will not leverage you as currency in order to get out of this pickle we're in. So anyway, that's just my opinion. It means absolutely nothing. So I give it an F, and you give it a C, and that's okay.
If it meant nothing, you wouldn't be here. So don't say that. I just didn't. I don't see any. I don't agree with much of that, but I understand. I don't even understand it. I'm not smart enough, but it's.
I don't think it has anything to do with intelligence. It's just.
I just found it mildly entertaining, and I didn't think about it that much. I don't see many of the similarities between the two episodes, but I don't disagree with a lot of what you said. She gave her the choice to go with the guy.
But as currency. So she would be leveraging her as currency. And I will say this, as a professional editor, if somebody presented these two stories side by side to me, I would caution that there would be plagiarism here. So if it weren't all under the same tent as Star Trek, we own Star Trek, this is Star Trek. If this was one author and another author, and they were independent of Star Trek and both had produced these same stories, I would strongly caution the later appearing story for how much was taken from the original story. So there's a lot on offer here, and I hope everyone will consider that.
Malachi D, good night. Thank you for being here. All
right,
everybody. All right, everybody. Let's have your reviews. And now let's see where. Let me put this in.
The word is given.
Go for it. Your rating and any words you may have about stink tank. Now you got me doing it. Let's see. Give it a couple of minutes. Oh, ED says have to come up and have to go. See you next. All right, ED. If you want to leave like a rating real quick, or if you can, if you have a rating, but either way, I hope we see you next week. You take care. Have a good week and good luck, whatever it is, my friend.
And if you're up for sharing the results of your blood work, you can always get a hold of me. I'm always concerned and I'm always cheering you on here. Everyone is here. You are so incredibly powerful and courageous, and we all love you so much. So I want you to draw strength from all of your friends here, no matter what you face and no matter what you want to share or keep private. We all love you very, very much, and we'll see you next week. Good night, Enigmatic Drop Bear.
We got a member chat from Fiona. It says, remember 10 months. Thank you, Fiona. Got to go to bed. Love you, Club and Raquel. We love you.
Hey, good night, Feet-Bot-Fo-Fum.
Good night, Pipona. Be well, my dear. Love you. Thanks for being here. All right, I think we got enough. We'll get started here. All right, let's see. Gwagnar says grade D minus. The ideas behind this were good, but it suffers from being made for Voyager. Yeah. The think tank were pretty stupid for being the smartest beings in the quadrant. They could be Voyager writers. He loves it. He's almost like who's worse, him or Wes Gagel?
I love Gwag.
Who hates Voyager more? It's almost a toss-up.
Gwag? I don't know.
I'd be West, but I don't know. Gwag, I don't want to take anything away from Gwag.
No, they both really dislike it. So, hey, Fee, we love you too, sweetheart. Have a great night.
Love you. Let's see here. So, JT Kirk says B plus. Think Tank is one of my favorite Voyager episodes. A broken clock is right twice a day, and the crew of the Voyager finally outsmart someone else for it. That did feel kind of rare, didn't it? Whatever you think of the story or what it's similar to, I'm like, wait a minute, they beat somebody. All right. The art, but again, the article. Artificial. It means artificial. Right. Intelligence was supremely impressive in the 1990s when computing was in a less mature state. I wish it would have said sterilize. TOS changeling. Yes, I love it.
JT Cook. He is T-Rock.
T-Rock. Hang it. Let's see. Damn bug on my screen. Get off of there, bitch. All right. This episode would easily be elevated to an A+ if they had played the Seinfeld transition music in between scenes and had Newman lead the Hazari. Yep.
I've never watched that show, but you know who loves that show is my husband. He absolutely loves that show.
I have watched it. I think it's pretty good, but I'm not one of the bigger. I have a lot of friends and people who dearly love it, which is cool. It's a good show. It's really actually pretty good. I just didn't really watch it, like religiously or anything. He's hilarious on it. He's the funniest thing on there. Jason Alexander. He's an asshead in real life, but he's a big Trek fan, and he was pretty funny.
I have to show you something before you do, Michael Beacom. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have to show this to you because this is the kind of teasing that you like. Here we go.
Newman. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was.
That's okay, boss.
Go back. Do it again.
Hold on. I think I can find it. Oh, here we go.
Oh, crap.
You were talking to Gwag?
What? I love Voyager just as much as Clobby loves Man of Steel. And Raquel loves Wesley Crusher.
The Chicken Man.
Yeah. Well, she does love Wesley Crusher, but you know who she loves even more?
Oh, God.
Here's who she really loves.
Cass. Super Cass. Oh, boss. Kay Roberts just said, enjoy your weekend, folks. Got 8 hours of road tripping tomorrow. Hey, you. have a great journey, and we'll see you back here next week. And thank you so much for showing up tonight, and thank you for saying good night. Drive carefully.
Well,
Good night.
someone sent you a question.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Oops. That was an accident. It was a different question.
Michael Beacom is going to have you flogged.
Don't hide behind Michael Beacom now. Michael? Michael? I'm just doing what I have to do. It's not my fault someone asked her that question, is it? Actually, is.
Low dart clubby.
I got rid of that one because I had to make room. Michael Beacom says C. A group of galactic nerds. Wait a minute. What did you say?
Get those nerds! 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 What?
See a starship from the Alpha Quadrant, and what do they want? Hot blonde in the cat suit. Well, why wouldn't they? I can believe that. I enjoyed Jason Alexander's performance. Had issues with Janeway considering selling Six into slavery. Well, who wouldn't sell her? I mean, I'm kidding. Kidding.
Terrible, Michael. Can you believe that she has that conversation where she's like, look, it's really up to you. You know, you could go and be a part of this museum with these people, and you could save us all.
Well, to work with them, that's the thing. She said, first of all, is she selling them? If she says, if you feel like going over there to work with them because you're smarter than everybody, she gave her the choice. You don't give slaves a choice. So
yeah, but once she's there, that's it.
I'm sorry, but you still don't give slaves a choice.
Not good.
So it's not slavery. You know, it's a lot of things, but it's not that. It's classless, and she's the captain. A captain would say, you're not going over there. I don't care.
Yes, exactly. And you can't buy a human being. You can't buy a person.
Well, yeah, but yeah, and it was a barter, but still, she said, I'm not selling you. If she wants to go, it's up to her. That is not slavery. It's still not. It's just not by definition. Nevertheless,
but is it ethical? If I said to you,
no, it's not. It's stupid. It's just not slavery.
Yeah, but if I said to you, Clobby, you could save everyone if you go over there and you become a museum piece, and we'll all be saved. But you have to stay in that museum for the rest of your life with a little weirdo guy who talks in whispers.
I disagree with anything other than I don't think slavery is the correct term. So. Yeah. Anyway, to save them again, no kidding. She saves them a lot, doesn't she? Kirk would never consider it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No. She's an idiot. She should not consider it. I think she's wrong in every way. I'm just saying slavery's a bit far. I think she's stupid to say, you want to go hang out with them and be over there? It was pretty crappy. You know what? By the way, you talk about the most toys. That reminded me of something from something else. Like somebody, God, I can't remember what it was now. I don't know if it was Trek or whatever. Some other show or something where somebody was asked to go with somebody to save. Why is it so familiar? Anyway, never mind.
Can I show you something?
If you must.
I have to.
Watch this. Janeway gave away Neelix's recipe. That's worse. That is worse.
Sorry, I had to put that up. I had to. It's so good.
That is way worse. I admit that. You know, I admit that.
Hey, want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
Just kidding. It was an accident. I hit the wrong button. Okay, I'm sorry. All right, let's see. It was an accident. Where am I? Okay. Okay. I'll start over on your comment there, Michael. So sorry. Had issues with Janeway considering selling Six into slavery to save them. Again. Kirk would never consider it. Kirk would lay down his life to save his crew. Janeway is diminished as a result. Mm-hmm. Agree, but can she get any more diminished already with all that?
He has a follow-up comment because you asked him something. So I just started, boss. Could you please scroll on your tab?
I never learn my lessons, do I? When I question anybody around here, I'm in trouble. They made it clear that they were bartering for her as a possession. I know, but she still gave her a choice. She was not being recruited as an equal crew member if she was property. Sir, God, don't romantic. She was not she told her, I'm not forcing you. If you want to, you can. And I don't agree with any of that. You shouldn't do that. But it's not slavery. You can play around all you want. It's not just slavery, but whatever. I got to learn my lessons around here. You can't argue with anybody about anything. All right. Shooter. B-, he says. How the hell did a projection taste the coffee? Yeah, that's true. I was wondering about that, Shooter. Good one. He was drinking coffee as a projection.
Yeah.
Never mind. Maybe he was goo.
Yeah,
Also,
maybe he was the silver goo.
The Vidians are a hell of a long way from this sector of space. How did Think Tank meet them? I don't know, as the drinker would say. Don't know. I also don't think 7 is that unique. We have seen other X drones before.
Yep.
And the audacity of insane way to think she can outwit a group of geniuses. Well, the writers let her do it. Well, did I say writers? You know what I mean. As far as villains go, the Think Tank are definitely unique for Voyager, but their motivation is more or less the same as the Borg Queens. Get 7 of 9 still could have been worse. Alar Carrison says B-. Good episode. I agree with Raquel. It is a bit of a remake of TNJ Most Toys, which is a popular favorite, and it's a way better than this. Even for TNG, because TNG is not my favorite, but it's better than this. But it was a good attempt at a remake and entertaining. Yeah, there you go. There you go, Alaric. RRTNs. What? Do it again. Say it.
Fascinating.
What did he say? Fascinating?
Yes, he did.
Okay. Sometimes I can't really make it out. You got to put it closer.
Really? Oh, yeah. Let me put it louder.
A little closer. Baby. Try it again.
Try this.
Fascinating.
Yes. Cool. Think Tank review. It hasn't been all about 7 for a while. So yeah, like what, 3 weeks? So what? A fun, total nonsense episode nonetheless. Alexander is great despite the mediocre costume. B. RR, thank you. D. Phantom Outside here says D. The episode was poorly named as the Think Tank did not think. If you are going to engage in this type of deception, need to do it a mob style and use a third party to hire the bounty hunters. Oh shit. Okay, there we go. Got him. All right. Their ship, though advanced, had no productive redundancies. If you are a thinker and not a fighter, you better have the best defense and make it as impossible as possible. Also, they should have asked for payment and extended the invitation to 7 as a separate thing. Asking for a being as part of a transaction was very stupid. Why didn't they ask for a Klingon biscuit recipe? Rack the genome, maybe? I don't know. I think Bubba Doom's another one. Has he ever given a good review? Yes, F, he says. I hate how they waste good guest stars. This is my last favorite episode. You mean maybe it means least, right? Episode. My least favorite episode. Last, maybe, I don't know. In the last several episodes, there were no stakes, no believable ones, at least. I didn't watch Seinfeld as I hate George. Whoa. That'll do it. If you hate George, you shouldn't watch Seinfeld. Lasher says, A, I like this episode and the idea of the think tank. Thank you, Lasher. And Professor R2, sorry about that, says, alt title, Think Stank. Remember, Jason Alexander was the flavor of the week? Yeah, neither do I. D-. Yeah, I mean,
I love Professor R2. I do.
Popular.
I love him.
Yeah, he was popular, but yeah, I don't think he was any flavory or anything. Lisa says, A, says George. Thoroughly enjoyable. Severing the connection of communication by using 7, a conquest of the group, was a sweet twist. Makeup and introduction to other species of the tank was fun. Thank you, Lisa. Value of nothing says C. Webster's Dictionary. Paradox, a statement that is seemingly contradictory or opposed to common sense and yet is perhaps true. Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the definition. I think Jason Alexander is typecast, stuntcast, and miscast. Well, at the time, he was pretty popular. The show was very popular at that point, I guess, their Value of Nothing. I think, or it was right around the time when the show was. I think Seinfeld had its run. It was right down near the end of the run. That haircut takes me out. Garrett Wang, referring to Jason Alexander's Kuros character. Okay, the hair. Yeah, I got you. 6.5 out of 10. Attributing the low score to Jason's hair. There you go. Where's the chief engineer? Did he have a review? Anyway.
Oh, no, he just put it up.
Okay.
Got it.
Simply Steve says C rating, alt title, Shrink Tank. Not a good story, but not bad either. Using 7 as leverage was a terrible idea, but still outsmarted the Costanza of space. Aloro Carasone says, as far as the Voyager creators of Think Tank making a show so similar to most toys, my guess, well, it's not like the first time if you think it's a ripoff, I mean, it's not like the 50, not even one of the 10th time they've ripped off an episode. But I hear you.
They recycle so much.
Oh, they are recycling. I mean, they're all into recycling. My guess is they knew it and did deliberately because most toys was such a popular TV episode. Oh, I mean, I don't see it that close personally, but I understand we don't agree. But to your point, yeah, they probably thought they were doing something similar to it. I don't know because it was the same people who were working on that episode. I know because he said it was Berman and Braga, right?
Mm-hmm. So, and Pillar.
And Pill, yeah, they all. So, is he still around at this point?
Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. No, Taylor, not Pillar. Okay. Taylor.
But yeah, it was the same people. So they were recycling. Were they saying, "Hey, let's do one like that" or not? I don't know, but the similarities are there. So, and like I said, they like to recycle. The chief engineer, the Mark D with a C. And if you're around, dude, pop in and say hello to us if you can. If you're busy, we got you. He says, "A. Enjoyed this episode and the concept of a think tank in space. A think tank in space. The alien makeup was fantastic, plus Jason Alexander's performance was well done. Not medium rare. It was a nice payoff when, despite his superior intellect, the pompous jerk was outsmarted. If I had been there, I could have saved the whole crew by trading the recipe for clam pizza. Ugh.
Oh, Mark. Sea tongue surprise.
Man, Claude Salling's here, right?
Claude!
Hey, Claude. Good to see you. All righty then. All right, so let's see here.
West. I love you, West. You have no idea how much I love the fact that you stay with us because you just like the company, despite the fact that you hate Voyager, that Gwagnar does, that does.
Zathras hates DS9 and Voyager.
I know. Zathras has stayed with us. Like, these are our true blue friends. Like, you are tried and true friends, and I love you so much. Just to put up with it so you can hang out. I love you.
He says, if we're going to keep talking, try to get a bottom of the block.
Gwagnar's directly behind him. Gwag's like, yes.
Thank God we're done with these episodes.
Yeah.
Maybe I was a little more well disposed toward that one because I didn't vomit a lot. I did no projectile vomiting or sleep, no sleep in comas. So,
well, you know, the thing is, I know it's annoying to a lot of people, but it's really important because a lot of people, especially people who we know who have super big channels, have always said, you know, oh, the writing sucks. And then people are like, no, it's awesome. And so when we endeavored to cover these episodes, whenever we say something isn't good, I want us to provide receipts, because you're speaking to a lot of people who say that Voyager is the worst iteration of Star Trek. Some people say it's Enterprise, but some people say it's
They're wrong.
Voyager.
They're
And
wrong,
so
though.
it's very important for us to have integrity there and make sure that we are expressing very accurately and objectively the truth of what exists here, and why so many people, including critics, say that the writing is really, really bad here. Even if you want to like it, it has glaring issues that are not about opinion. They are objectively true. And so that's why so many people have that opinion. Anyway.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hey, dude, what's
Hey,
up?
Made it
Mark!
back from. Good to see everyone. I made it back from New York City. It was my daughter's birthday, so she kicked out the parents, the old people. She's like, "Okay, you guys can go home now. I'm having fun with my friends." So, but it was great to see her, and made it back in time for some fun. And I did a nice ad for tonight. So there's a new product the Clobberin Times is going to be selling. It's called Goo Crew Gone.
What do you know? The Goo Crew.
So
I made-
sad. So sad. Like, even if that story would have worked, it is just so sad that they were so inept that they would not even scan the debris field and see their own DNA and this the silver goo people who they helped and rescue them. It's just so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it had that episode had potential, not to rehash it, but it was just so many inconsistencies there. It was it's like the kind of thing where you're throwing things at the screen when you're watching it versus the other episode that was the fight one. I'm like, please I texted Clobberin Times like, please make it stop. I couldn't handle it. Was killing me. I was like, what is going on here? And I of course I was late. So you did you love that first episode with Sparkly Harry Kim, or
Oh,
I'm
Yeah,
wondering
she
what
loved it. That's her
you
favorite.
did love it. You gave
what
it.
did I do? Did I do all F's this
You
week?
gave it an F.
Mark?
You gave everything.
Was it an F?
Oh,
Was
Hold on.
it-
No, the disease I gave it a D plus.
Oh, yeah, we both
Oh my
gave that
God.
one a D plus.
Right?
D plus. I need it for my spreadsheet. So D plus.
Hold on, for two
Right.
eggs of a puppy's tail. All my stuff is all.
I gave it
messed
an
up
F.
here.
Lasher says,
18.
I like the Enterprise theme song, but yeah, a lot of people get. Yeah, I love this theme song. I had to get warmer. It grew on me. I don't mind it like everyone else did, but I like it fine now. A lot of people hate it. I'm fine, but I love the show. So, what is that? Goo Crew? What the hell?
Well, Gugon. So I made Crew Gugon.
Yeah, Gugon gets rid of sticky, nasty, yucky stuff around the house.
Yeah, so safe on carpet, fabrics, hard surfaces, and goo crews. Gragnar probably would have done a much better job than me, but I tried to whip that up quickly. So
Oh,
I
get
love
out of
Gugon.
here.
So.
We love your
I
work. We love Gwag's work. We love Chris's work. We love everyone's work. You know what's wonderful is that we have so many talented people who have the software available to make fun, cool things so that the show is dynamic. So it's all good, Mark. All good.
I know, yeah. That was a quickie, but yeah, I love Gugon. I use it all the time, so I was watching. I was thinking, Crew gone. But
Hey,
yeah, that's what's frustrating too when you have a could be a good idea and then it's just not executed properly or well or taking the story in the right direction. So I had 3 Fs tonight, which is crazy. I think this is probably the worst week of Star Trek ever that I've ever watched, and I'm usually not that I'm kind to it. I just certain things don't bug me as much, I guess. And watching it the first time, maybe it's just watching it back to back to back doesn't help either if you're watching
linear. Yeah, the
if
linear
you're
watch.
watching,
It almost presents it as if it is a book, and because of that veils all of the continuity issues and so on and so forth. But it's very important for me to say, as a scholar, that objective and subjective really aren't fully understood or fully massaged as ideas. And it's like you see the statue of David. Every person who has ever been alive has seen that
Michael,
and loved it.
Good night, Michael.
Night.
He gives a super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat, buddy. You're too kind. Thanks for being here. Hope you and Cassandra have a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
To your point, Mark, that everyone who sees that statue is in awe of it.
Oh God, yeah.
It makes people feel like sublime, like it has an incredible impact on human beings. So it is objectively beautiful. And so what I'm trying to say is that it isn't always just about opinion. I want you to know that the episodes that we covered this week are universally panned as complete and utter garbage. People are
It wasn't
actually
just me.
Yeah, people are actually angry about these episodes, including people who actually love Voyager. So
Well,
it's important for
some of those were.
just
all of
it's
them?
important to recognize that a
Yeah.
lot of people, many fans, consider Voyager the poorest showing in the iterations of Star Trek, and I think that if we work too hard to really like it, I think we would lose the integrity of the show. At least I would feel that way as a scholar. If I'm going to review something, I know that I have to make sure that I show all sides of it and bring evidence, so that the people who are saying that's horrible, that's poorly written, so that it's understood. You can't just say to somebody, "Oh no, it's written great. I loved it. It was wonderful," when there are huge errors in it that people want to point out. So I want to have the integrity of information, and what's real and what is just left up to opinion.
Look who's here.
Who's here?
Maximum Redstone.
Hey, buddy. What's up, Max?
Goo Crew.
What is the Goo Goo Crew? That's did you see that episode? The Goo episode?
Yeah, it's terrible.
Of course, Oblivion.
Oh, I got to add the Clobboni to that that graphic.
This is Mark's favorite episode right here, though.
Oh God,
so bad.
It was just the fight. And normally we never talk about it. The only thing I texted Mike was, please make it stop. It was just like, but yeah, to echo what you said too, Raquel, I got to travel to Rome a few years ago. If everyone has the opportunity to travel. I mean, as much as I love places like Disney World and amusement parks, and if you do get the chance to go to Europe or Egypt or somewhere fantastic to see some great architecture, history, you go into I saw the Sistine Chapel, and then you see La Pieta, Michelangelo's statue of Mary with Jesus. No, the religion doesn't, of course, it's very religious work, but just standing next to that, even though it's behind a damn plexiglass because some jerk went in with a hammer and tried to destroy it, it's just unbelievable. Maybe as a Christian had a little bit more effect on me, but it's just unbelievable to see that work of art. And then we're leaving. I'm going back to stand next to him, just watch it. And family's like, why? We already saw it. I'm like, when in my lifetime am I going to get a chance to see this in person again? Hopefully someday, but you never know. And you can't replicate that scene, in a book or a picture. It just, when you're there, bringing that in with all your senses and looking at the ceilings there and the artwork, it's just, but think of how phenomenal Michelangelo was all those centuries ago.
Yeah.
Never been duplicated.
Seeing that in a hunk of rock. And so now I think we're very enamored with this idea that the digital verse seizes control over what is good, and it can become so idiosyncratic that any type of review or opinion becomes nonsense. And so I want to make sure that people don't move in that direction, right? If you watched a movie where it was clipped incorrectly and therefore the sequencing was off, and so you say to everyone, I really liked it, but people say to you, but the director admitted that the sequencing was off, that there were scenes shown before they should have been shown, so it messed the movie up. You arrive at the idiosyncratic nonsense where you as an individual are seizing upon the opportunity to have an idiosyncratic opinion that equates or is equal to the opinion of the person who admitted that the film was terrible, or that it was constructed in a way in which he feels bad because so many mistakes were made. So this is the philosophical juncture, the reality where reality breaks for people, and I just want them to understand that. and to try and make sense of that for themselves, right? Sometimes we can love things and they're highly flawed, and they are universally understood to be extremely flawed. And just because we like it doesn't mean we get to say, well, it's not flawed, when everyone acknowledges the flaw. So I hope that we can learn that about ourselves before we become so individualistic that we no longer feel that we can even share with other people. And that to me is very sad. I grew up in a time where people would say, you know, I'm a geek, I'm a nerd, I'm a jock, I'm a punk, I'm a cowboy. And now you hear people saying, you know, I don't want your labels, I don't want to be in your boxes. And what essentially what they're doing is they're saying, I don't identify with anyone, I can't communicate, I'm not the same as anyone else. And I think that's quite unfortunate. I think we can travel our entire lives and work very, very hard to even find one friend and people who accept us for who we are and share our ideas and celebrate our ideas. That's the way we should be moving as a society, not to the extreme of idiosyncratic opinion to the point of pushing others away. I don't think that's a good idea. Being unique shouldn't mean that you feel like you can't even share reality. Anyway.
All right, well, we're getting out of here because
we don't want any more goo.
It's late for you, number one.
It is.
If I don't keep your timetable, who will?
Yeah, exactly. I just want to answer Lisa. Individuals will pick and choose what speaks to them. Yeah, but we also have to be humble and realize that we're not so utterly special that other people don't share our opinions, our interests, our passions, our opinions, and how much we care for others. And we can find camaraderie. We can say, hey, you know what? Punch my buddy in the shoulder. I think the same thing. I think that we're arriving at a philosophical place where people see that as somebody being insulting, and I think that's extremism that we should try and reject. And further to your comment earlier, where you said maybe Trek has longevity issues, I would just like to answer that I don't think that it's the longevity that's the problem. I think the disconnect for Star Trek is that when at Star Trek's inception, Star Trek was being made by a single person who had a beautiful vision. He was an author. And then he found two like-minded people who said, oh my gosh, this is a great idea. And the three of them worked together with high fidelity to those ideas that they had. And then the idea, the author, the creator, his product, his beautiful storytelling was turned into a product, and it was purchased by a corporation. And that corporation needs to take as much money from that property as possible. And so they have these writers' rooms, and they bring in producers and different people. And then pretty soon, it's not an author who is passionately working with two of his friends on a labor of love. It's 20 or 30 people with no attachment to it, who perhaps even see it as just a stepping stone to getting their own movie made. And those two goals are very different. They're competing. And I also think that that's where we have a problem with Star Trek. When Star Trek became corporate and the writing became an anonymous room of 20 or 30 people, you know, writing whatever. And sometimes it was, I'm going to say something vulgar, so I'm not going to say it, but they say that they put out a product that they don't really care about. Anyway.
All right. Well, everyone, we're getting out of here now. And we're gonna do our show notes and shout outs and all that kind of stuff. But first, before we did that, a little bit of a treat for Raquel. Well, how you like this picture? You ever see that one?
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Oh my
Eastwood visiting the set of Star Trek: The Next Generation. Awesome. It's cropped because I think Nimoy was on the other side or something. So
yeah,
two of his kids he brought to the set, so that's pretty cool.
I love Clint Eastwood, and I have never seen this picture. Is this real?
Yeah, he
yeah,
went to the set, with his kids.
Professor R2, you are speaking academically to exactly what I'm talking about. It is deeply cynical. It is deeply saddening. And that is what is being propagated in academia today. And I want you to know that I share many things with you, whether you're a big geek, a big nerd, or you like gravy, or you don't like gravy, or you like lemonade, or you don't, or you like a sunset, or whether or not you like pepper. Those are the things that we find together, and we create friendships and compassion and empathy. So I absolutely love your gorgeous academic comment and everything that it means to say. Thank you for that.
But too many big words in there. No, just kidding. Very well said. It's too wordy
right.
stuff.
And then you forget, did you know there was a strange mix-up on the set of City on the Edge of Forever one day?
What?
They were filming it, and they had a production shot from it.
Oh my God! Who made this?
I don't know.
This is great. This is like Gwagnar.
Gwag could make something like that, sure.
This is very Gwagnar. Oh my God! This is great.
Such a cool crossover. God,
yeah.
Awesome.
All right, everybody. Next week's episodes are. Sorry. That's
late.
Sorry, they are. Where is it? Oh, here we go. Finally, they had the place. I'm now getting them from Mark, so we got them in right order. But for a while there, I had the wrong order. But so finally, we're going to get to the X-Men crossover episode next week, Juggernaut, where the X-Men team up with the Voyager crew and fight the Juggernaut.
Awesome.
So that is what that was about, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you see, they got the Juggernaut's helmet off there. So
he does not look like the Juggernaut to me, though. That guy.
So that way they could,
Juggernaut.
His size shields are now down, so he can be attacked by Jean Grey.
That's a shitty looking Juggernaut. Damn it. Anyway,
he was on a diet. He didn't eat his Wheaties.
Brandon Braga to watch over me.
You have to sing it. You have to sing it, Clobby.
What?
No, Brandon Braga to watch over me instead of someone to watch over me.
I'd rather not. I'd rather not, Mrs. Robinson. So, no.
Southern Belle 777. Good evening. Thank you for joining us.
When? Hey, Southern Belle. Good to see you, 777. I don't know if we've seen Southern Belle 777 here before, maybe. But it is absolutely lovely to see you. Because I love me some Southern Bells. All right. Let's see here. Oh, I put the wrong. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. Shout outs and shout outs in a second. First, number one, closing words.
Yes.
The greatest first officer in the fleet. Thank you for being here with us.
Well, thank you so much for putting up with me. What a roller coaster ride tonight. I hope everyone had a good time. It is a stimulating conversation, and sometimes it can make people get their hackles up, and sometimes it can make people laugh. But you know what? The most important thing is that we all come together to laugh at it and about it at the end of the evening. So I want to thank everyone. Hail to the chat. Thank you, everyone, for the marvelous, truly marvelous conversation this evening. I have such a wonderful time with you. And it's incredible that in these times, when people aren't communicating with one another, that you show up here, not only ready to talk about Star Trek, but to put it in writing, to make your comments count, to join in the conversation. And I just want to thank you for letting us do that. What an honor and a pleasure. I just think it's so cool that you do that. So thank you for the work that you put into this show. If it weren't for you, we'd just be couple of people talking by ourselves. So thank you so much, everyone. I also want to thank all of our wrenches for their hard work this evening. Thank you for helping me track things down, especially Eric, who was working behind the scenes to help me find those who were vaporized. I love you, Eric. I also want to shout out Lord Thoth. Thank you for promoting Clobby. Larry, thank you for promoting Clobby. Chris Persia, You heard what I said earlier, honey. I love you. Give your dad a kiss for me. Chris Persia's dad is struggling with some medical issues. If you're an agnostic like me, you can just send love and appreciation and support to him through sending him a note or a DM or sending him a nice message. But if you're somebody who believes in a higher power, his papa sure could use some prayers. And you know what? Your love works. I just want you to know that. Chris feels it, and I know so does his dad. Okay, so thank you, one and all who are supporting Chris. Also, Enigmatic Drop Bear. We are Team Enigmatic Drop Bear. If you know Enigmatic Drop Bear, you know that that he has some health issues, and he's in a battle. And I just want everyone to know that we are a team here. We are the 735 Club. We are Clobby's Clobberers, and we are here to support this marvelous friend who has become a part of our lives. Whether he wants to share his latest medical update or not, I want everyone to be on just aware that this beautiful human being needs your love and support in whatever capacity you would like to share it. I also want to thank my buddy Gwag. Gwag, thank you for everything. Thank you for promoting Clobby's channel. You the bomb, baby. I just love you so, so much. I want to thank everyone who sent a gift to Clobby tonight. That keeps the lights on at this virtual comic book shop. Clobby is retired, so it really means a lot. Your generosity, your support, it's super cool. I also want to wave to everyone on X. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Seeing those crazy numbers on X added to the numbers that are here, it's just awesome sauce. So thank you, everyone. And if you are watching us on X, would you please do me a favor? Would you consider watching us on YouTube as well? Because those metrics actually help Clobby. I'm not sure what's going to transpire betwixt YouTube and X in how these economics are going to be distributed. But for now, if you could please join us on YouTube, I know that the boss, that the captain will benefit from that. I have a book coming out. I write episodic classic science fiction. Although I come from publishing and I'm a professional editor and author, I have had extreme difficulty getting published. This is because corporations, corporate publishing, they're looking for activists and activism. I'm not an activist, and I don't write about activism. I write about ideas. I write about science fiction, classic episodic science fiction. So I need your help. Like what happened to Andy Weir. What happened to Andy Weir is happening to me. And so these folks have stepped forward and said, let's get that second book of yours over the finish line. And I cannot do it without them. Not only do they offer me financial support, but these folks, by backing my book, but these folks are also standing behind me, reading every story before everyone else gets to read it, letting me know what they think, and just sending me their love and support. Some of these people have turned into such marvelous friends, and I appreciate them more than I will ever be able to say with words. Larry, Tony Stark, Sean Carter, Penny Lane, Shoota, Gwagnar, Dave, Chris Persia, Scuba and Leslie, Pete, Eric Kane, his trusty dusty dog Kirby, who is currently in China. You can find him in Bugs Bunny's hole in Eric's backyard. Enigmatic Drop Bear, Michael and Cassandra Pico, Mark D with a C, Anti-Derivative Jill, Jelly Jill, Maximum Redstone, JT Cook, Dabman and the Dabman Clan, Lord and Lady Thoth, and don't forget about Lance. Chuck some cheese in the chat for all the pepperonis. Rob Altus, Tyler, Jeff Wyatt, Rod Thunderheart, and my guitar playing buddy, Mazaris. Thank you for backing my book. As soon as I hear back from my editor, I am going to get those books out to everyone. Thank you for supporting classic, episodic science fiction. I love you all. Thank you, Mark, for everything you do behind the scenes. Thank you, Clobby, for creating this space for every type of Trekkie to come together to talk about these episodes. We have a riot with you, and you are the source of many friendships, real life friendships, and just a lot of entertainment, just great fun. I love you and appreciate you so very much. Thank you for everything, boss.
Back at you. Love you. Tobor, the robot.
Tobor!
It's good to see you, Tobor. And hello there. How's your father? How's your father? Asked you a question. What happened to Andy Weir? I don't think anything happened to him, but I think you were referring to him because how he had to he couldn't sell his book. He had to get it right to
Yeah, there's a
online.
huge conversation in publishing right now about they're calling it cosmo-demonic publishing, where they're talking about how corporations have gripped publishing to the point where they're entirely deciding what is published without any regard for what the audience might want to read, and they have a stranglehold on it. And that also includes only publishing people who are already rich and famous, and just making sure that they're publishing their books, whether they're good or not. And so somebody like Andy Weir came along, and he wrote 2 wonderful books. One was The Martian, and the other was the Project Hail Mary. Both gorgeous books. Anyway, nobody would give Andy a chance, and Andy had to open a Patreon, and it was his Patreon fans who got him published. Without Patreon, we would not have The Martian. We wouldn't have Project Hail Mary. This was Andy Weir, and people came out in droves to help him. And so that shouldn't be what's happening. We should really be rewarding meritocracy. We should really be supplying the books that the public wants to read, not what the corporations think they can make a lot of money on.
Yeah, he was giving that away weekly just to get interest in the story, and then people like, this is so good, where's the next chapter? But he kept getting rejected by the main publishers, which is that guy owes me a night's sleep because I couldn't put that book down once I started reading it. It was so damn good.
You have to read Project Hail Mary, please read it.
As your father, thank you for coming out of lurk mode to ask the question. It's good to see you. And he said thanks for knowing whoever gave him the membership. So thank you for whoever gifted him that membership, and we always appreciate our lurkers. Okay, anything Mark?
Well, great being here tonight. Sorry I missed the whole show, but I'll have to watch part of that rerun. But looking forward to Sunday Night Geekery tomorrow night. And let me put the link in for the Clubhouse. And I did have some cool food pictures tonight. So I went to a candy shop which had tons of nonpareils in there, Clobberin Times. I wish I could send you some. So
some good
stuff. Nonpareils, the chocolate with the like snow caps. No snow caps.
Oh, I want snow caps.
There's buckets of snow caps there. I got in trouble because I kept getting. They give you a scoop and there's buckets of candy, and I spent like $30 on candy. I kept making the bag bigger. So we have pictures of that place tomorrow night. So looking forward to that and hanging out with everyone. And Scuba Pete, I think, can make the show tomorrow night. So he said, hopefully, Mr. Scuba Pete will be there, which will be awesome to hang out with him.
I love that human.
He's not human.
I just adore him. He's
He's Aquaman. Man.
He's Aqua Scuba.
Aqua Scuba, yeah.
So, is that it then for that? Okay, well, let's do.
Oh yeah. He's looking forward to that. Yeah, well, let's get on out of here. People are tired probably after those, especially after those episodes, right?
Join us tomorrow night, folks, on the Geekery on Mark's great channel. Please put your link in there and everything. So anyone who is not who is not subscribed to Mark's channel, please do so. And it's at 10 p.m. Eastern. End your week as a geek. We have a lot of fun over there, and even if you get hungry, if you're not hungry, you'll try to make you hungry with the eater as well. Monday night, back on J-Ben's channel. We are 3 times a month. With Sean and J-Ben and myself at 7 Eastern Standard Time, reviewing our chronological review of the Legion of Superheroes, every adventure from 1958 to 1989. It's going to take us a lot of time, but we're doing it for a while, having a great time. If you're a Legion geek, and if you're not a Legion geek, but you do love comics, at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time, back on my channel, Monday Night Mark C. Comics Talk, where we talk in the name of our long departed beloved friend Mark C. We just talk comics in his name. And Tuesdays and Thursday nights at 6, I'm over at Tom Connors, the great Tom Connors Midnight Says After Dark, with that great group over there. And sometimes when he has them, I'm at the Loki's, my good buddy Stone Loki's Comic Book Roundtable at 7 on his channel on Wednesday nights. And of course, then I'm back here, 9 p.m. Central again, on my Wild Card Wednesday night show, where it's all wild. What anything goes, all geek stuff all day long. Wall-to-wall geekness, where we just talk about, well, what do you think? Geekness. And there's a lot of comic stuff, but anything else, anything goes. I mean, there a lot of geek stuff. And then, of course, there's that Clubhouse right here every Thursday night, where we have a Blake 7 episode review this week. It's the episode Trial from the second season. And we're in the second season right now. And we'll be reviewing the Star Trek comic soon, in the future, very soon. But this week we're going to review the TV movie, the very first of the Darren McGavin's Carl Kolchak adventures, the first TV movie, The Night Stalker, the classic. Great stuff. And then, of course, on Friday nights on J-Man's channel, reviewing Frank Miller's seminal run on the great Daredevil character from the early 80s. The great. We only have 2 more shows of that to go at 7 p.m. And then after that, in April, we start Fantastic Fridays, reading all of Jack Kirby's Fantastic Four run. But meantime, on Friday nights, no Nick Weiser this week, but usually I'm there hanging with Nick Weiser again on Friday Night Concept Talk. But there is going to be next week. These are our episodes, but I already showed you that. So for Star Trek. Anyway, show notes and shout outs. We got the show notes out of the way. Shout outs are the great Bronze Wrencher. Dude, is that what you sent me on the level? What? That's crazy. What you, Eric? What the hell is that? What's the story behind that? Where did you meet him? Chris Persia had to run, but the great Chris Persia, D. Bud Martin, Lord Thoth, Avon Lives, Long Live the Legion, J-Man, Maddie's Daddy, Kal-El, Fanny Outside, Maximum Redstone, and Larry. And let's see here. Who else? Let's do our shout outs. We'll get out of here quick, everyone. Let's see. Okay. The great Mark D with a seat. Thank you for being here, dude.
Lots of fun.
Anti-derivative Jill was here. Thank you, Jill. I think she had to run, of course. Here we go. Shooter, thank you. Putin's Rat. FKH, Tim. Raymond and Sandra Feliciano. Go to King Dolphin TV. Wagner. Let's see. Jessica Baker, thank you for being here. Bubba Doom One, buddy. And they call him Schoolboy Peach. Michael and Cassandra Beacom. Simply Steve. The Tetrarch of Apathy, RRTNZ. SPH. Joe Dog. Penny. J.T. Kirk. Sean Carter. Value of Nothing. Duke Leto Atreides. Fanti Outsidey. I already said them. Rennie L. Tyron Lethbridge. David Rayborn. Cuz. Scribe Light. Empress NM. Katie. Suzanne Eckstein. CLS Studio. Apollonie's Minion and the Pupper. Brian Hepburn. Alaric Harrison. Dadman Walking in the Dadman Clan. Lasher. Grogu from my old hometown. Lisa. Zathras. Professor R2. Thank you, sir, for being here. Rob Altus, buddy. Malachi D. Wildman. The wonderful Princess Fiona. Me and my monkey. Patrick Britt. Dave J. Sound. Maria with T and Telly. Taylor Swift is not as good as Maggie. Jamalama, baby, in my lama. Oh, sorry. Mars, Bucky Max, MMM. K. Roberts. E. Dick Baddick, Drop, Barry Day. DJ Play Nice. Mazerus. Daniel's Hot Topics. Adrian James. Wes Cagle. Claude Selling. Southern Bell 7777. Tobar the Robot and Alger Butter. And anybody else who popped in, I hope I didn't miss you. But all right, everybody. So thank you all for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate you and have a marvelous rest of your weekend. Clobber on, clobberers. Good night. I hit that thing by accident. Sorry, but I see him there. Talkie Toaster. Thank you for being here. All right. Good night, everybody.
The word is given.
Groovy.
I just love clobbering time.